Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Guys in the room doing a good job of working together, and we talk about more detail a lot, so just talking about just a selfless act and just continue to work together. So guys doing a really good job of kind of just supporting each other, and then in terms of rushing the quarterback, I mean, it's just a percentage of what they're here for, right? You got to be a complete ball player. You got to earn to be able to rush the pass on third downs. You got to stop the run as well. You got to be able to defeat pullers and snipers coming back. So it's an all-around game. Of course, we work pass rush ability, but it's also just being a complete player.
Only in the fact that I think the guys at the next level are just a little bit more experienced and they're older. But at the end of the day, we're not teaching them to grab and hold. We're just teaching them to contest and challenge. I think there's two different things. And what a tendency is that if an official calls a flag on you, that you all of a sudden want to be shadowing next to him instead of contesting and getting into him. So the refinement in the technique is to do it more so like we're coached, and don't panic as you get down the field.
Since I came in, my first press conference, my family finally moved in. I'm grateful to be in Nebraska, and it's a great place to raise my family and coach football. With that being said, I'll open up with questions.
Good morning. Welcome into Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's Austin Jacobsen. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. DB will be joining us when he's done with practice. What's up, Austin?
Oh, just surviving and thriving.
Surviving and thriving.
And thriving. Although I was just telling Shane that I went to bed angry last night.
Uh-oh.
You know why?
Why?
Because they got to explain these interstate cutoffs and the new construction.
Yeah.
I lost my GD mind last night, leaving Schick and Nick live. It was like, what a great evening. It was a high stressful day, but a lot of effort in. The show went great. Everyone had a good time. We all left with smiles. And then I get on the freaking interstate, and I can't even get to the interstate.
You tried to get on the interstate. You did not get on the interstate.
Did not get on
Neither
the
did
interstate.
I drive by, go, oh, that ramp is closed. Like, okay, no. See, this was
And you had the same problem I did, didn't you?
You got the next road was closed too.
Yep. Every single path to my home was obstructed by construction. It's like it was specifically put out to make me get home later than I needed to.
Yeah.
It took me 25 minutes to get home.
Like, guess what? You don't get to go home today.
No.
Yeah,
I almost came back and stayed in the RV.
Sleep with the RV is still out here.
We're out here.
If you
if Paul hadn't pooped in it last night, I probably would have.
I think it was just a number one. He's
not here to defend himself.
I didn't hear anything about a deuce. I only heard about a number. If you missed out, Schick and Nick Live last night was a great time. Austin and Rico did a great job producing that event, and it was a lot of fun. Packed house.
Yeah, we unfortunately probably did too good of a job, so now we probably have another show that we need to produce for.
You're definitely gonna get stuck doing that the rest of the time.
Yeah, because that was the worst. Is when we've noticed this problem is when we have like a good idea and we do something kind of on a whim and just do it for like your guys' show. So film breakdown or something. Then it's like, well, what else can we do? And we're like, whoa, guys. No, we didn't ask for more work.
Hey, that was a one-off. We're like popping champagne. We pulled it off. This isn't like job description stuff now.
But
Easy.
I mean, it's the classic meme of like, I'm now important at work. That's how I feel like every time we introduce a new element, we're like, we didn't intend for this to become a regular thing, but now it's part of the everyday.
You're like, I'm not even 100% sure I can get that to work again.
Yeah.
But
yes,
here we are.
Yep.
No, it was a lot of fun last night, though. If you didn't come out, you missed out for sure. But it'll be up on the podcast in a couple days here. Also, people got to meet some of our Hurrdat brand good guys.
Mm-hmm.
They were out there printing T-shirts on the spot.
It was awesome
for the drop.
They did
that
fantastic.
Was super cool.
Brand Goods is they're on a heater the past couple
we
of
love
weeks.
Brand Goods.
Other than the
Nick Baugh doing his Austin Jacobsen voice out there.
Other than the wind tearing down their tent at Pinnacle Bank Championship, that was pretty much that's pretty much the only thing that's kind of deterred them, Mother Nature.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Which I mean, honestly, if you're
only acts of God can stop Hurrdat brand goods.
That's a pretty good way to put that. Yeah, I was gonna say so. Hurricanes, tornadoes, twisters, all that sort of stuff. That's about the only thing that can stop that train.
They're like the post office, though. They get through everything else, but the
Big Pony Express guys. So yeah,
maybe closed off ramps.
Yeah, that too, Shane.
Closed off ramps would not have heard Hurrdat brand goods.
I think they would have hired a drone, just flown it over and drop shipped it that way.
Yeah, they would literally drop shipped it. Just
bang,
picked it up, dropped it right on your house.
Was dropping the mic a big thing for your high school days?
More college.
Okay.
Like,
Is that an
drop
American
the
Idol
mic.
thing, or when did that start?
I don't know. I think it's a hip hop thing originally.
Okay,
dropping
that
the
makes
mic.
sense too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder where that originated from.
I think we're the two experts here on hip hop, so we should
Clearly.
be able to clear that.
Don't
up.
ask DB later.
I would never, because then he'll just be like, "Why would I know about hip hop?"
Yeah.
I'd be like, "All right, DB."
Okay, but to be honest, on this show, there's a higher percentage chance that he's going to start singing like Fleetwood Mac more than he'd probably be doing any type of rap.
He does. I don't think he's rapped on the show.
I don't think so.
He does sing
He sang a lot of Luke Combs.
He does.
Giving you the best that I. Jelly Roll. He's had a couple of Jelly
He
Rolls.
sings a lot.
He was on a lot of Jelly Roll, which
no.
that's I should be offended with the fact that he's singing Jelly Roll. Those are my people. That's. You ever been to a Jelly Roll concert?
No.
I don't like the way you answered that. That was so mean. Why'd you say it like that?
Mean, what about me is like, yeah, that guy's been to a Jelly Roll concert.
I don't know, man. To each their own, I guess. I've seen more pajama pants at a Jelly Roll concert than probably a Walmart at midnight.
Oof.
And it's the category of people are about the same. But I will say this: if you want to go for just ultimate vibes and you just want to mesh with the group, those people are bought in. They're all the way locked in on Jelly Roll.
Yeah, but if you're not, then you are not meshing with the group.
100%.
Like, you can't be like a halfway, like, oh, what's this Jelly Roll guy about?
That's
and
what
roll up to a concert because you will feel out of place.
A couple years ago, I went to the Machine Gun Kelly concert at the Chai, as the kids say. That was also an interesting experience because you have the varying range of like 18-year-old girls that are like hanging out and doing their thing, and they're like, "This is my favorite artist," and then you have 30-year-old men who are tatted up and just like, "Hell yeah, I'm in for MGK." Okay, all right, man.
Yeah, I don't.
You're not an MGK guy?
No, not for me.
Yeah.
Not.
I mean, you left me high and dry at Creed, so I don't even know what kind of person you are anymore.
I didn't leave you high and dry. I had a very reasonable explanation that made sense.
You quite literally texted me hour before, and you're like, "I'm not going." That was a little rough.
Well, to be fair, I never said for sure I was going.
That's not how I took it.
I said might several times that week.
I'm going to take your mights a little more seriously from here on out.
Yeah, if I say might leans no.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so people of my age, I know there's a little age gap here.
People of my age.
Yeah, so back in my day, if you're in your mid-30s to probably mid-40s, and you say you might, and especially if you're a Midwesterner and you go, yeah, I might be able to make that happen, it's probably 70-30 no.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
it's like the
forward.
when you're doing something and you suggest a new plan and people go, yeah, no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, no.
Yeah,
no. No, yeah.
No.
That means yes.
Well, no, yeah is a yes.
But
no.
Yeah, no is a no.
Right.
And then no, yeah, no, also a no. But no, yeah is a yes.
That's
just decoding Midwestern speak for you.
Boom. Man, we've tackled 8 topics in 8 minutes. It's pretty impressive.
Nailed it. We're getting right through.
Right.
Right through.
We're going to run out of content here before DB gets here.
We might get through the rundown in the first 40 minutes.
What's coming up on the show today, Ravi?
What's coming up on the show today? What a great question, Austin Jacobsen. We're going to do something a little different at 8 o'clock here.
What?
So moving forward, I don't know if we've announced this yet, but it was on Twitter yesterday. So I think that's a fair little thing to preview now.
Yeah.
Coming up at 8 o'clock, moving forward on Tuesdays, we'll talk to our friend Brett Ciancia regularly from Pick Six Previews.
Good get, Shane.
He is one of the best in the biz in terms of breaking down college football, doing the analytics, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to have him be kind of our regular national guest moving forward on Tuesdays as college football season starts. But today, we've got a different kind of special for you at 8 o'clock. We're going to preview the battle at Buell. It's kind of a mini volleyball day in Nebraska that the Millard Public Schools is putting on with Millard North, Millard West, and Millard South all playing volleyball matches against each other at Buell Stadium. So we'll talk to Millard North head coach Lindsay Grant, Millard West head coach Joe Wessel, and Millard South assistant coach Angela Thorn at 8 o'clock. And I believe they're all going to be together, right? We're going to have a little Zoom.
I think it's going to be a big all on screen, all 5 of you guys all at the same time.
I love it. It's going to be great. We're going to have such a good time talking battle at the Buell.
I know you're a big Buell guy.
Yeah, I'm probably going to focus most of my attention on Lindsay Grant here, Coach Grant, the roll stangs, but might be hard to be civil to the other two, but I'll do my best. I'll do my best. I'll try and be professional.
So Millard West, how do you plan on keeping up with the Stangs? How do you
I just be like, Millard South, I've got a lot of questions. First off, how dare you? Secondly, Millard West, how do you sleep at night? No,
but your beef isn't really with Millard West, right? It's mostly Millard South.
Not really. Yeah, we
Can you break down the Millard rivalries 100%. For me quick, please?
Everybody hates Millard South.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe even Millard South. I don't totally know. I haven't asked him about it. Right. We try not to speak.
Yeah, good to know.
But Millard North and Millard West definitely dislike Millard South the most.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think Millard South.
Now, is this rotational or is this like as it is currently?
No, this is as long as I've been aware.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
Since Millard West opened, which was when my sister was in high school, like mid-late 90s, it was always Millard North, Millard West against Millard South.
Okay.
Like they were no thank you. You stay over there.
But then what's Millard North, Millard West?
So I would say there's a lot of crossover in like friendships.
Okay.
But there is also, it's like when you play your little brother in sports or something, and there's like kind of a little bit of a nastiness there.
Okay.
That's probably a Millard North, Millard West.
Okay, so is then, let me think about this. Is this, so if I was Millard South, are Millard North and Millard West Nebraska and Iowa State? Or is that am I trying to geometry that a little too much?
Yeah, probably not.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a good one because I think there's genuine disdain.
TK says Millard South is the Lannisters.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would say that Millard North, Millard West are sort of Targaryens and Starks.
Okay.
Obviously it goes bad at the end there when you have to choose sides, but until that point, we're all just focusing on killing the Lannisters. So that's a good one there, TK. That's probably pretty appropriate.
TK's always good for, good analogy.
So here's the thing. Here's the backstory for it all, right? Is a lot of Millard North and Millard West kids go to some of the schools split off when they get to high school. So some of the middle school kids go to school together for Millard North.
And then they go to
and then they go to separate. At least that's how it was when I was growing up. I don't know if they've built more middle schools. But no one from Millard South crosses over with the other two. Mm-hmm. And so there's no that's my buddy or whatever. It's just they're over there. It's its own thing. So that's how I think that's the biggest reason is there's a bunch of people that I went to middle school with that I really liked that ended up going to Millard West. I didn't know anybody that went to Millard South from school.
Okay.
And I tried not to associate with anyone.
So because you didn't know them, you chose to hate them? That's pretty ignorant of you, Ravi. No. That's very ignorant. How dare you?
I chose to hate them because of who they are as people.
Oh, because their colors were different? Is that why?
No, they're Patriots. We love Patriots.
Good save.
They used to be Indians. I also love Indians, but it's a different thing. It's a different time now.
Now I can't. Now I can't move on from that.
You don't love Indians? Wow.
I'm
right here.
No, I do. I love Indians. Yes.
I'm right here.
Is that the right thing to say? I'm in a box right now. I don't know how to get out of it. Moving on. How about this? Can I just get you angry? How about this?
Hold on. I got to finish setting up the show.
Okay, please.
That's Battle of Buell.
Yeah, we didn't even get to that.
Coming up at 9 is Mike Schaefer, Husker 24/7. And then at 9:45, we're going to preview UCLA with Mike Regalado from the Bruin Report, part of the 24/7 Sports Network, as we continue working through Nebraska's schedule. That's the lineup.
That's the lineup
today.
Okay, so I do know something that'll get you upset.
Oh no! Why are you doing that already?
No, but it's just two easy words.
Okay.
Curt Cignetti.
Okay.
Do you already know where I'm going with this?
I think I do.
Okay. I was doing some light reading last night just because, you know how when you get off an event, and this happens a lot if we go out, and especially when I go cover a high school game, I'll come back home and I'm a little bit wired because usually the games are pretty good, right? And I'm either just posting the stuff, getting that stuff, and I'm scrolling through looking at other stuff. And I think I'm a day or two behind this, but I saw the athletic coaching tiers come out, and how can you not click on an athletic at this time of the year? How can you not click on like an athletic like article, especially when it says like coaching tiers?
The coaching tiers, the tiers of anything, just like
right.
They just draw me
exactly.
to it.
Yes.
Any sort of
I'm like a moth to a flame
any
when it
sort
comes
of
to
ranking.
tiers.
I'm just like, give it to me.
College football tiers. They could put college football concession stand tiers, and I would go, oh,
and I'd be like, ooh, who does have the best concession
Aramark?
stand?
Oh, okay.
How dare you disrespect Fairbury that way?
But 2 obvious takes here. Matt Rhule in tier 4, I believe, which is very middle of the pack. But they have this is what I hate about this. The tiers are set up with categories, and again, just like we had with the college football quarterbacks like 2 months ago, the tiers don't make sense with where they've put a lot of the coaches.
Yes.
Namely, one Curt Cignetti, who is in tier 2 as an established winner, where last year he was in 2024's tier 4, which is where Matt Rhule currently resides.
Yeah, and tier 4 is steady hands. Steady hands.
Sure.
So
yeah.
That's what it's called.
But okay, so to explain this further, tier 2, the established winners at the very top of the category, and I guess technically tied with him, are Curt Cignetti, Ryan Day, Kalen DeBoer, established winners. Behind them, James Franklin, Marcus Freeman, Brian Kelly, Dan Lanning, Lance Leipold, Lincoln Riley, Steve Sarkisian, Kyle Whittingham. Yeah. I can make a pretty solid argument that Kyle Whittingham shouldn't be at the bottom of that tier in his own right, but the top of the tier is what actually makes me the most upset, because not only do you have him tied with 3 other coaches that he doesn't really have a reason to be in the same category with, but he's in front of the category in front of 2 coaches that were basically a part of the national championship conversation a season ago.
Yeah, so let's see what we've got here. Ryan Day, national champion. Kalen DeBoer, played for national championship. James Franklin, college football playoff. Marcus Freeman, played for national championship. Brian Kelly has played for national championship. Dan Lanning, college football playoff.
Number 1 overall seed.
Lance Leipold, one of the best turnarounds we've seen in college football history with how bad they were. Lincoln Riley.
College football playoff contender.
College football playoff, and has been in the college football playoff several times in Oklahoma. Steve Sarkisian, college football playoff. Kyle Whittingham, one of the most consistent winners in college football over the last 20 years. That's maybe the name if you're going on hard recency bias.
Yeah.
That's maybe the name that you would leave off.
Right.
But he is at the very bottom of that tier. But I don't know that you can describe Kyle Whittingham in a better way than established winner.
That's exactly this is like the Kyle Whittingham tier is established winner, right? Like every single season, you're not going to expect that Utah goes below 6-6. They're going to be 7-5 at worst, and they're always going to be playing for some sort of like bowl eligibility, if not peaking towards a national type of conversation in, what was the Pac-12, now the Big 12, and that sort of thing too. But Curt Cignetti, after one season of beating up on some of the easiest, softest schedule when it came to the Big Ten Conference and non-conference, moves ahead of all of these characters, but yet he lost to Ryan Day, he lost to Marcus Freeman, and got kind of handled in that own regard. And I understand talent disparity, blah, blah, all that 1 year, but why are they crediting the 1 year difference? I understand there was James Madison in there too, but I don't see any other group of 5 coaches that were on here that made a jump.
So that's the thing. That's where I have the big problem. We're basically talking about one good year with Curt Cignetti here.
Yeah.
Like, I understand the James Madison stuff, but he's only got 3 years coaching FBS football at all. The other time at James Madison was FCS. Before that, he was, I believe, at Division II IUP. Like, it does not scream established winner. 3 years in FBS football does not tell me established winner.
Right.
Right? Like, there is nothing on this list that makes any sense, especially when, like, the other guy you can make an argument for with not having enough track record is maybe Kalen DeBoer, because he's only got, I believe,
he's been
5 years at FBS football.
Yeah, relatively flash in the pan-ish, right?
Yeah, so like
relatively.
I could hear an argument with Kalen DeBoer, but the Flash has been playing for a national championship. Right? The Flash has been getting the Alabama job and almost making the playoff first year post Nick Saban. If they've won one more game, they're in the college football playoff.
Right.
So I could hear an argument against Kalen DeBoer. I could hear an argument against Kyle Whittingham. I don't think you're right, but I would hear it. I could even hear an argument against Lance Leipold that he hasn't won at a high enough level to justify being on here. But when you look at this list and you go, Ryan Day, James Franklin, Marcus Freeman, Brian Kelly, Dan Lanning, Lincoln Riley, Steve Sarkisian, there is a name that doesn't make sense here with the rest of them, and he is at the top of the list in Curt Cignetti. That's bonkers. He is the first guy people have listed after multi-time champs. That's tier 1. with just two guys, Kirby Smart and Dabo Swinney, only multi-time champs in college football. The next guy is Curt Cignetti, ahead of, famously, national champion Ryan Day.
Right.
Which doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
And to be fair, Ryan Day, yes, he was born on third base, but did actually get the national championship this year. They have been in the college football playoff Final Four years and years and years and years in a row.
Like, he can't help the situation he was put into.
Yeah.
All he can do is either screw it up or not screw it up.
Yeah.
And he hasn't screwed it up. He's elevated that program, right? Also, I wonder if we underestimate. I don't know. You've been watching some of the SEC story stuff, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Just for the humor of it, because the documentary begins with them losing to Big Ten teams, and then also ends with it. So
I don't think it's in that version. There's some. It's on Netflix. I don't remember what it's called.
One of the Untolds?
Maybe, but it's with Florida and Urban Meyer.
Yes, yeah, the swamp. Yeah, it's one of their Untold stories. Yeah,
and you hear these guys telling these
the
stories.
most insane glazing story in history. They leave out all of the good juicy bits.
And so I don't remember if it's that one or what, but there's like portions of it where you're hearing the way Urban Meyer kind of runs his programs and stuff like that. You see how it went at Jacksonville, and you go, okay, this might be a little bit more toxic of a situation that Ryan Day inherited than maybe we appreciated. Like Urban Meyer, I think there's a reason he doesn't stay anywhere very long. Like I think he has sort of this toxic sort of eat away at people, like almost. You know how Phil Jackson used to kind of like pit people against each other, and like that's how we get the most out of them, and like the Kobe and Shaq thing, and they sort of like he sort of encouraged them to butt heads to try and elevate each other. That only works for so long, before it all just comes crumbling down and everybody hates everybody. And I do wonder if there was some of that in the Urban Meyer situation after the way you hear just some of the ways he ran his program, whether it's at Florida or Ohio State. So I mean, listen, that's not to say Ryan Day didn't inherit a great situation. Like, so did Kalen DeBoer. It's a hard situation, but it's also a great situation, right? But I sit here and I go, okay, Curt Cignetti, I don't know how you put his name above anybody before Lance Leipold. I don't understand how that happens.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you can do that.
Yeah.
And
especially if you look, because you could argue they're on different trajectories too. But I think if you want to put him in established winners because of his James Madison and the year that he proved at Indiana, I think he fits right in front of Lincoln Riley, actually. Like, I actually wouldn't disagree with that, with the trajectory of where they are both headed.
Sure, yeah. I would put him somewhere behind Dan Lanning, but I can't put him anywhere ahead of that. Like, everybody else on this list has a extensive track record of winning, or their program is significantly headed up.
Yep.
Right?
But here's, again, if you just, and we haven't even mentioned Tier 3 yet, but Tier 3 has a guy we're both high on, Matt Campbell. And I would actually say Matt Campbell's a pretty established winner as well.
I would say more of an established winner than Curt Cignetti at the FBS and Power Conference. I mean,
I would also say higher than Lance Leipold.
Yeah, at the Power Conference level, Matt Campbell has been better and more established than either of those guys.
Yep. Brett Bielema? Would you rather have Brett Bielema?
Brett Bielema's interesting. I like Brett Bielema. I think he's a really good coach. I don't know how hard I would argue. I probably would take Brett Bielema because I feel like I know more about him.
Yeah.
The Illinois or the Indiana thing, like maybe it's because I don't like him. Maybe it's because he's a smug SOB. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
There's something that just tells me like, hey, this probably isn't going to last. I don't know what it is. I really don't. Winning at James Madison for 5-6 years, half of those in FCS, is a different thing than winning in the Big Ten consistently, right? We've seen it over and over again. I don't know. Like, I ran into a old, like, very successful high school coach last year on one of the sidelines at a high school game. And I was telling it, we were talking about how people interact on Twitter and things like that. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I get kind of snarky during Husker games. I get a little sarcastic sometimes. I'm watching games. And he's like, no, I understand that. He's like, it's really hard as a coach because sarcasm tends to be a little bit like poison. And I get that. And especially, I do think there's instances in which players understand you well enough that it's not necessarily that dramatic. But I have a really hard time imagining a world in which people are just like players go out and they see Curt Cignetti and they see him basically getting all the headlines, right?
Yep.
Like nobody talks about anybody from Indiana last year except Curt Cignetti.
Yep.
Right. And these are college guys. They have egos. They have aspirations. They want to play in the NFL. They want to be rewarded with NIL money for their efforts. And I just wonder, like, okay, this guy eats up a lot of the air in a room. And I just wonder how long or what type of guys he can continue to get at the Big Ten level that are just going to be like, yeah, we're cool.
Yeah.
You know, like,
well,
I don't.
I hear what you're saying. I think that there's a part of that, though, that there are some people that are drawn to a character like that because
we see the Dion character.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that there's also the part when you're at like an Indiana and you're not a football powerhouse, but you have a guy that's that confident, or at least outwardly speaking that much confidence, that it installs confidence in yourself that even if Indiana cannot target 5-star recruits or even high-level 4s, that if you can develop high-level 3s or mid-3s or, low 4s and you can get those type of players in because they felt slighted that they weren't being recruited by the Ohio States, the Penn States, the whoever. If you have someone who's expressing extreme confidence constantly, it puts more confidence into yourself because – and I mean, you understand this too. When you're in a bubble of a sports program, there are just some times when you are so bought into whatever everyone is telling you to do. And we've drank in all the Kool-Aid with Nebraska football.
Yeah.
Matt Rhule could basically tell everyone, like, hey, Archie Wilson is going to be the starting wideout. And everyone would go, well, he's probably the best athlete on the team. And, that's obviously an exaggerated example, but it is somewhat true that a lot of things that someone will say when you believe in them is what you will buy into.
Yeah.
And if Cignetti is continually outpouring confidence and outpouring how much he can stick his chest out, it comes across as success in the eyes of his program. But until the success dwindles in terms of wins, I think it will continue to work in his messaging.
Here's the difference, though, is I think a lot of times it comes off as confidence in himself, not confidence in his team. That's the difference.
It's pretty simple. I win.
Like,
how often does he say we and not me?
Or like, hey, like,
next question.
O'Rourke did a great job last year, or like, well, whoever it is, right? Like whoever, like, how often does he go, he's like, oh, we're good, or I win, or whatever. And I don't know. That's how it comes off to me. Maybe just because I don't like the guy. Like, I'm open to that possibility. The way it comes off to me is, and this is something that DB says all the time, it's almost the exact opposite of what Coach Rhule does.
Yeah.
Anytime you try and give Coach Rhule credit, he gives it to somebody else. He deflects it. He will not accept it. He goes somewhere else. Oh, man, Kristen and Corey, they did an amazing job transforming these guys.
Jason, you're onto something. I'll get there.
Hey, you guys played really, really well on defense. Oh, man, Tony White did an incredible job. His game plan was great. Or, hey, the offensive line, you've had some injuries. They put it all together. Oh, my gosh, Donovan does such a good job of getting guys ready. I don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Or, hey, Dylan's really coming along. Man, Dana and Glenn have worked with him so hard. He's done a great job. That kid works harder than anybody in the building. And then something bad happens, and he goes, yeah, that's on me. Yeah. I have to accept, like, hey, like, I made a bad decision there. You get clock management stuff. You have the thing a couple years ago where it's like, should we have gone for a touchdown? Should we have gone for a field goal? Whatever. He's like, hey, that's on me. I got to make better decisions and stuff like that. So it feels to me, and again, it could be because I just don't like the guy. It feels to me like he is the exact opposite of that.
Okay. Jason says Curt Cignetti is the Dan Hurley of football. Outside of Hurley bringing back a program like UConn that had previous success, had a little bit of they had a little bit of a mark in a national scene, right? You could argue that what Hurley did and kind of how I described it, an uber confidence in yourself and speaking it out into the ether, right, is exactly the same as what Cignetti is doing for college football in Indiana. Now, again, the programs do not line up the same.
Yeah.
UConn basketball in its national scape, in its scope of its sport, comparative to Indiana football, are not the same. But you could argue that they are very similar in quality. And I know there are a lot of people that would ride for Dan Hurley. I know there are a lot of people that would ride with Curt Cignetti. And I think you're right. I think that those group of people are the same. And the people that aren't for them are on the opposite side of the boat.
Yeah, I mean, they're certainly not on the same level as programs. And I do think, I hate to be the one that has to give Dan Hurley credit here, but we are talking about a guy that won 2 national titles versus a guy that has 1 good year in a power conference.
Yep.
Like, we are talking about different things, right? So, like, we have to start there before we get anywhere else.
Right.
The problem is, for me, and listen, I very outwardly and loudly don't like Dan Hurley either. So it's not a terrible analogy there. I do think he makes things a lot about himself. And I do think that there is some similarities there. I don't know about, the only differentiator I'll make is Like, I don't think Dan Hurley's a good person from what I've witnessed, and like not just public things, right? So that's part of my issue with Dan Hurley. I don't know about Curt Cignetti, so I don't want to put him in the same boat because of that. I honestly think Cignetti's a lot closer to Dion. Like, I know that they come in very different packages.
Right, yeah.
I think their personalities are actually very similar. Like, that's the guy that I would compare him to. And I don't like Dion either. That's not so it's obviously I've got a type that I don't like, right? Todd says, when his rapidly rising balloon bursts at Indiana, I'm going to laugh. Yeah, like, there's a part of me that is rooting against him.
Yeah.
And there's also a part of me that...
And you're right. So that's actually a great way to put it, too, because you're not rooting against Indiana's failure,
no,
right?
You're rooting
against Curt Cignetti's failure.
I'm rooting for Indiana to fail because I'm not sure Curt Cignetti is who he wants us all to believe he is.
Okay.
And there's a part of me that he almost... Like, winning in college football at a high level on a regular basis is really hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
We've seen that here at Nebraska.
Yeah.
And that's not to say Nebraska's made great hires or done everything right over the course of the years. But Nebraska is always in a better place than Indiana will ever be in football. That's just how it is. And so, like, I don't know if it's just the arrogance to think, oh, I'm Curt Cignetti. I can make Indiana football whatever I want it to be overnight. Like, listen, maybe in 10 years, after he kind of goes through it a little bit and struggles and whatever, he's able to get them on an established plane. But think they're going to go 11-2 every year or whatever he thinks is their expectation is nuts to me. Like, it doesn't give very much respect, A, to the Big Ten, B, to how hard it is in college football, and C, to the lack of resources they have in general as a program. Like, I just don't think he's in touch with reality on a scale that it just bugs me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that type of person leading my program. I want a confident person, but I need a realistic person.
Right.
Like, going 11-2 at Indiana every year is not realistic. It's just not. That's not a place that can sustain that. And most of all, because when November hits, they don't really care about your football program anymore.
Yeah.
Like, if they're good at basketball, by November 1, they're good.
I think TK is pounding the table right now for Sig. And I guess that's I don't know if you said it outwardly directly, but is it just the way? Because he has been successful, right? He is winning, right? And you just said it a little bit ago with Dan that, yeah, you have to give him a credit, 2-time national champion. Success looks different at a lot of different places, right? At James Madison and at Indiana football, success looks a lot different. So is it just the frustration with how he got there or how he does it?
No, because here's the difference that we're not paying attention to is, like, the thing that I just don't like his personality. That's not a person, if I was a fan of a program or running a program, that I would want around my program. It's just not a personality type that I gravitate towards at all. What I will say is I do think we underestimate, like, the resources of James Madison. That's a school that poured a ton of money into becoming an FBS program and being good at all their sports as soon as they transitioned into Division I sports. Like, resource-wise, they are the Ohio States of where they came from.
Yeah,
like,
right.
So there's a huge difference there when you're in the Sun Belt or in the CAA before that with James Madison, and you are the big dog.
Yeah.
Like, even though they were just transitioning to FBS, like, they had more than everyone else.
Yeah.
That's a much different landscape contextually than what he walked into at Indiana. At any point, do you think Indiana will ever have more resources than Ohio State, Michigan, Nebraska, USC, Oregon? Who else am I missing here? Like,
yeah,
that's 5 without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Right? I would guess they're probably somewhere closer to, like, the Illinois range of resources. That's probably not going to win you 11 games every year in the Big Ten. That's not a real thing. I don't think people – like, it's the same thing. We did this with Scott Frost. Like, we did this with Scott Frost in the 12-0 at UCF. Like, at UCF, you can just go get better players than everybody else.
Yeah.
You can do that at James Madison, especially when you're among the resource rich at that level, which they are.
Yeah.
Like, you can just go get better players than everybody else. That's not a thing you can do at Indiana. Like, at no point are you just going to go get better players than everybody else. That's not a real thing. Not at Indiana. That can happen. And at Indiana, you're probably not going to get the benefit of guys bouncing down to you from higher levels that are just going to be better than the guys they're playing at James Madison.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're going to have transfer portal stuff. guess what? If a guy goes to Ohio State and isn't getting the playing time he wants, he's probably not going to Indiana. If he's that good of a guy that you can just be better than everybody else, he's not going to Indiana.
Yeah.
He's going to somewhere else in the Big Ten. He's going to the SEC. He's going somewhere better where they can pay him. This isn't one of those things where you can take power conference guys and they're going to be better than everybody James Madison plays. That's not how it's going to work at Indiana. I don't know how this is sustainable for him because I don't think they're ever going to be able to recruit at a level that will replicate the results that he got last year.
What are we, 10-0?
I think it is fair to say, too, as well for you, that...
What'd you finish, Curt, 1 and 2?
I think it's fair to say that...
Not bad.
If you look at overall record and you go year to year, his win-loss record is consistent. But where he is winning consistently, we haven't actually seen, right? Because when he's at James Madison, he's there for 3 years, 2 years.
He was there for 5, but only 3 in the 6. No,
Yeah.
5, but 2 in the FBS.
And the last few years, obviously, he had enough success to garner him a jump to Indiana. We've only seen Indiana for 1 year. This could be an easily, I don't want to say make or break because he's going to be at Indiana for some time. That leash is long now. But it will be interesting to see how this season ends up for him because if the success doesn't continue at the same level as it was last year, if they go 8-4, will people credit him as much? If they go 6-6, people will discredit him. If they don't make a bowl, people will, languish him for it. So it's going to be very interesting to see how quickly that dynamic flips because if he goes 11-1 again, people will be able to share his praises. And there may still be frustration with how he does it, but then he'll continue to share, and show a little bit more of the consistency of like, yes, I am a winner. Yes, I have done it at more than just one stop over 1 year because I had an influx of, talent that came in that was cohesive and, benefited from a very easy schedule.
Sure. And I mean, don't worry though. He wouldn't really challenge himself in the non-con this year. He's got Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, Indiana State. So they'll really be trying to tune up this year.
Yeah.
For the non-con. He's really challenging himself. But I mean, okay, so after that, after they actually have to play real football teams, they go Illinois, at Iowa, at Oregon, Michigan State, UCLA, at Maryland, at Penn State, Wisconsin, at Purdue.
Yeah.
What does that make Indiana?
Makes him have a tough, challenging slate there.
I mean, like you've got, I'm counting 4 losses.
Yeah. And not even just like straight up toss-up games. You can look at them and say, no, these are probably losses.
I think you're looking at 4 losses.
Right. Oregon and Penn State.
Oregon, Penn State. I think they're losing to I think they're losing Oregon, Penn State. One of Illinois and Iowa. I think they'll lose one of those. And then one of either Michigan or UCLA.
Yeah.
That's 4. Like, is he the top of tier 2 if he's 8-4?
No.
Is he established winner at 8-4?
No. He's probably closer to established winner, but yes, yeah.
I mean, this is what I'm talking about though. He's the Jaden Daniels of this list. We did this with DB yesterday. Like Jaden Daniels had 1 great year. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You want to put him the next level? Like he is literally the first quarterback after Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Matthew Stafford.
Yep.
You think the next best and this is NFL executive. This is from Mike Sando's list at The Athletic. NFL, you think he is the next best quarterback in the league? You realize you have a guy that won a Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
Like 10 spots below him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're taking 1 year of Jaden Daniels. This is why I asked DB the question, would you take Jaden Daniels year 2 or CJ Stroud year 3? Because CJ Stroud had basically the exact same year as a rookie that Jaden Daniels did.
Yeah, a lot of people want to put Stroud up there.
We felt the exact same way about him, right? Yeah. CJ Stroud comes back to earth a little bit. Oh, we've never seen that happen in the second year in the NFL. It's almost like it gets harder.
Yeah.
Like at some point, it's going to get harder.
Yeah.
At some point for Curt Cignetti, it's going to get harder.
And it will, very quickly.
I mean, yeah, after he plays
mid-October, we're going to find out.
After he plays his cream puff, Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, Indiana State, like juggernaut.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? That's not even the part of the list I'm most mad about.
I know, and we didn't even get to that part.
Because Matt Rhule in Tier 4, like when you look at the company he's keeping.
Well, he's honking with Monken down there.
Which I love Monken. That is, honestly, he belongs more in the established winner spot than Curt Cignetti does.
Yeah.
Like he's been doing this at Army. You want to talk about doing this in the dregs of the world. He's been doing this at Army for 15 years at this point, 10 years at this point. But you're putting these are the people ahead of Matt Rhule.
Yeah.
Tim Albin at Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
You want him? Are you taking Tim Albin over Matt Rhule?
It's the tier above him, but I would not take Mark Stoops over Matt Rhule.
Yeah, in the what's that? What's number 3?
The 3 categories: high level consistency, which Kentucky must be competing for. Conference titles every single season.
Kentucky's high level of consistency. Let's look real quick.
7-5, 8-4.
Oh, that would be generous. That would be generous. Do you want to know? You want to know what his last 3 years are at Kentucky? 7-6, 7-6, 4-8. The
high level consistency.
The 3 before that must be incredible, right? Oh, he had a 10-3 in there. That's nice. Before 5-6, 8-5. That we won Mark Stoops
over Matt
Rhule. We want
Jonathan Smith, Michigan State.
I'm not even that mad about Jonathan. John Smith's good football coach. I wouldn't take him over Matt Rhule, but John Smith's a pretty good football coach. You're telling me you're going to sit here with a straight face and say Mike Norvell, who went 2-10 last year, this is high-level consistency. He went 13-0 to 2-10. What is less consistent than that? I literally that is the least consistent you can be to go from 13-0 to 2-10.
Yeah.
That's like Gene Chizik think that's inconsistent.
Don't bring Gene into this.
What are we doing here? You're telling Dan Mullen, who couldn't find a job in the tier above Matt Rhule. And listen, Dan Mullen's had some nice runs as football coach, but we're gonna take Bronco Mendenhall.
Yeah.
With his 5-7 year at New Mexico that parlayed him the Utah State job?
Well, again, to be consistent, and including the NFL days with the Panthers, the last few years for Matt Rhule, overall record-wise, have not been shining. You get a 5-7, you have a 7-6, you go back to the Panther days, no winning seasons in the NFL. He did end on a high note, obviously, with Baylor before he left to go to the Panthers.
When Urban Meyer went to the NFL, did we hold that against him?
No, because he hasn't coached again.
When Nick Saban went to the NFL, no, but it didn't stop everybody from wanting him.
True.
Right? When Nick Saban went to the NFL, did anybody be like, oh, I don't know about this Alabama hire. He was really bad with the Dolphins. No. No one has said that.
No
one counts NFL stuff when you come back to college.
But
no one.
You're comparing national championship coaches to what Matt Rhule had at Baylor at 10-2.
My point,
and I'm with you. I want to be clear. I'm not trying to be a Husker hater again. I'm really not.
My point is we never count the NFL stuff against these college coaches. It's a different job.
But then the past 2 seasons with Nebraska, 5-7 and 7-6.
Which is exactly what we're talking about with some of these other guys.
Okay, fair. Yeah, fair.
I mean, Mark Stoops?
The fact that he's 2 spots ahead of Barry Odom at Purdue is a little bit insulting as well.
I mean, listen, I'll listen to you for Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen's largely been very good for most of his career.
Yeah.
This is Bronco Mendenhall, his last forever coaching years, okay? 5-7 at New Mexico, 6-6 at Virginia, 5-5 at Virginia, 8-4 at Virginia, 8-4 at Virginia, 6-6 at Virginia, 2-10 at Virginia. What are we talking about here?
It's very consistent. It's just not a winner.
What are we doing? I could consistently lose every game of the season.
Right.
Am I in tier 3 above Matt? I could go to a college football program tomorrow and be incredibly consistent going 0-12 every year. Does that put me in tier 3? Does that get me above Matt Rhule? Is that what we're doing?
Apparently. Yeah.
I don't understand. I get that these are whatever lists, but I'm honestly, and it's we want Mike Gundy. I get Mike Gundy at one point was an established winner. He's on the struggle bus now. What are we doing with Mike Gundy? You're telling me you want Hugh Freeze over Matt Rhule? You would take anybody. Auburn didn't want Hugh Freeze over Matt Rhule.
Yeah.
Literally, Auburn wanted Matt Rhule over Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, Hugh Freeze is an interesting.
Literally, that's a real thing that happened. Auburn wanted Matt Rhule. He said no. They went to Hugh Freeze.
Yeah.
Auburn does not even want their guy ahead of Matt Rhule.
It was hard.
What are we talking about? You think Luke Fickell is in better shape than Matt Rhule right now?
Yeah, that's another one.
He's
too.
20 spots ahead of him.
Yeah. Yep, and he's in tier 3. high-level consistency. Well, Wisconsin must have been, competing for a Big Ten title then last year, correct?
Yeah, clearly. Wait a second. Nope, that's not what happened.
Well, they were eliminated from bowl contention by someone. I can't remember who.
Wait a second. That might have been Matt Rhule.
That's crazy.
They're trying to run him out of town.
And he's still ahead of PJ Fleck and right behind Kirk Ferentz. Like, what are we talking about?
I don't understand. Like, would you – and listen, I like Troy Calhoun a lot.
Yeah.
I think he's done a great job at Air Force. I really do. Do you think there is a soul alive that would hire Troy Calhoun over Matt Rhule?
No.
At any level of football?
Probably not, no.
Maybe Dave Tepper.
Okay. There's no reason to bring Panthers into this. There was no reason for that, and you know that.
Here's my question, though. Like, if you're looking at high level of consistency, I mean, surely a guy like Sonny Dykes would qualify, right?
Okay, so then how
high level of consistency? Let's see what Sonny.
Rather than
no, he played for a national championship a couple years ago. Things must be great. He 8-4, 13-2. That one's nice. 5-7, 9-4. Like, we're kind of all over the map there, Sonny.
Yeah. Okay, so continuing to badger the same point, I understand where you come from. If Matt Rhule does what you're supposed to do, 10-2, right, this year, how you want him to perform, how you expect the performance to go, where does that put him? Is he now flying up the list to a Curt Cignetti level after 10-2?
If he's 10-2 and doesn't end up in tier 2 based on Curt Cignetti logic, then I don't even know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like, if they are what I think they are, and they don't end up, and let's say they go 9-3 or 10-2. And he doesn't end up in tier 2, I mean, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
This will be the third program in a row that by year 3, he's got them to win at a high level. Like, how many guys in the country are you taking over that? I understand I'm making
the national narrative on Rhule would flip significantly with the 10-2 season this year, because then that's the graphic.
10-2, even 9-3,
yeah.
like that's
the graphic. After the 10th win, that's the graphic that gets shown across the country, everywhere for that entire week.
Even if it's a bowl win, they'll be like, hey, year 3, third program in a row, double-digit wins.
Yep.
Like, that's what the narrative's going to be. So I understand he hasn't done it yet. I understand I'm one of the only people who think he is going to do it this year. But there is just a laundry list of names above this man that is just flat out disrespectful.
It's almost fair to say that the two coaches we primarily talked about so far have the biggest, the best ability to increase their stock on one side and lower their stock on the other from this list, right? This coaching category.
I mean, I don't know, because literally the only place Curt Cignetti can go up from here is to win 2 straight national titles.
Right.
That's how highly he's been ranked.
Yeah,
you're right.
He's quite literally directly below the only returning national champion coaches.
The multiple champs.
Yes.
There's 2 multiple champs, and it's everybody else, right?
Yep.
So Ryan Day has to win another national championship to pass Curt Cignetti?
Yeah.
Like, that's what we're talking?
Yes, you are
like,
correct.
Ryan Day has to win another national title to pass Curt Cignetti.
Well, do it with Indiana, Ryan.
Marcus Freeman has to win 2 consecutive national titles to pass Curt Cignetti.
Dan Lanning needs to win more national
2 consecutive national titles to pass Curt Cignetti. Curt Cignetti has to win 2 consecutive national titles to pass Curt Cignetti.
That is true.
Like, what are we doing here? What are we talking about?
Smoking cigs is what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, they're smoking something.
Do you want to get the other side of the story?
Sure. Let's get to TK.
All right, TK.
He's a Curt Cignetti honk.
Well, and TK is probably like on the incline bench right now, so he was probably fine. He's probably in between sets or something like that, so nothing to worry about.
What do we got, TK?
Oh, did TK give up?
The squat machine got him.
Oh, no. It's probably Smith machine if he's defending Sig. That was mean. I didn't mean that, TK. I'm sorry. Take that back.
That's Austin Jacobsen throwing out wild accusations.
I didn't say you can use the Smith machine to build strength. There's nothing wrong with that.
That TK squats on the Smith machine. That's about the most offensive thing you can say to a lifter.
Yeah,
I guess there's no other side of the story.
No sides of the story. Our side is the side. Actually, I do need to check on chat quick. Let me look at that.
I guess that means Ravi's right.
Brian Miller's against. Seriously, you call this a rebuild? Losing this many one-score games, playing this sloppy the first 2 seasons, that's good coaching. It has been bad coaching. Rhule is 12-13 in 2 years and smelling like a rose. Why? I don't get it. Likable personality, but block.
Smelling like a rose. He's in tier 4, Brian. What are you talking about?
You want to try TK again here?
All right, TK, are you on the Smith machine?
I think that's a yes.
Okay, well,
it's a resounding yes.
TK somehow passed away twice on the Smith machine. That's an unfortunate circumstance.
And it's built for safety. I don't, that's the big thing there.
You really hate to see it.
Let's take a quick break here. We will be back in just a couple minutes. DB will be joining us when he's done with practice. That's awesome. I'm Ravi. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Cheddar, we getting Rico. Big money rolls like burritos. Give me that hot sauce, no pico. Give me that.
Yeah, I feel tremendously great. My body's in the best shape it's been in. Not tired at all. Sleeping great, recovering 3 times a day, morning, after practice, and at night before I head home. So just taking that next step of taking care of my body is the biggest thing for me, just so that I can give my teammates my 100% best. And I think they deserve that, and I know they deserve that, so that's the least I can do for them.
What's your weight in camp? Like, what are you trying to keep your weight at around camp?
Yeah, it's like 225, 230, and it's right now it's more of a maintain. There's no gain and losing, none of that. It's more how I feel and how I'm moving. So feel like I've been moving the best I've been since I've been in college, and look to just keep it there. And at the end of the day, it's really my body comp, and my body comp's right. So we're very excited about that.
I think that was good for me. It allowed me to develop as a player, kind of see how things worked around here, and just figure out how I could best help the team, especially coming into this year. Coach Schwartz has instilled a lot of confidence in me, and that's just helped me a lot, being out in the field and making an impact.
What is your relationship like with him?
Coach Schwartz? It's amazing. He's one of the best things that ever happened to me as a coach. Like I said, he instills a lot of confidence in me, and he trusts me. And, it just makes me want to go out there and play my hardest every play.
How has he done that? How is he building you up?
I think he's brought our room really tighter. I think that helps. And, we have a really tight connection. And I think just the way he talks to me and the way he's helped me through, bad practices and good practices and, how he talks to me has really helped me be confident and, play my best.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's Austin. I'm Ravi. DB will be joining us as soon as he gets done with practice over at Westside. But
hold my Gatorade.
It's always a good time to remind you that with Central Federal Credit Union, you can actually save money when you spend with Centris Roundup. Every time you use your Centris Visa debit card, it gets rounded up to the nearest whole dollar. That roundup amount then gets transferred from your checking to your savings account. It's a small way to make a big impact on your savings. Visit Centris online at centrisfcu.org to learn more about Centris Roundup and how you can enroll today. Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Coming up in just a few minutes here, we're going to get to our Battle at Buell preview here with Millard North volleyball coach Lindsay Grant, Millard West volleyball coach Joe Wessel, and Millard South assistant coach Angela Thorn. Pretty cool idea that they've got going on there, so we'll get into that with them. Anything on the comments we need to catch up on?
Good question. Let's see. Kyle adds within category the coaches are alphabetical, so maybe that's actually where we saw that they are going that way. But
that could be, yeah,
that could be. But still, I mean, you have to tell us that they're alphabetical, right? So.
Also, I would stand by all of my tier 3 versus tier 4 arguments. Like, maybe you're not putting Cignetti at the top of tier 2. Okay, maybe the internet fooled me on that one, but still,
yeah. TK also adds that he
putting
doesn't
him in the same category as the rest of those guys still is bonkers.
Right. TK says it's probably better for our relationship that the phone did not work. He does not use the Smith machine, so teach their own.
I mean, listen,
I'll stand for the Smith machine.
There's a proper
close grip incline. I got to be safe about it.
There's a proper use for every machine in the gym.
That is
I
true.
used to like to use Smith machines for some of my rowing activities.
Yeah,
like rows and shrugs and stuff like that.
Although you will see the most ridiculous type of exercises on the Smith machine.
Oh yeah, people be wilding on the Smith machine.
And I know that there's value in some of them. The ones where people will lay like on their stomachs and will kick it up in the air with their foot. That's crazy. I don't like their glute raises or something.
Don't do that.
That's crazy. I don't need that.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Just figure something else out.
I don't need the insane cable work either. So there are some people at my gym, some people just be like flying around with those cables.
Yeah.
Let's be safe.
They
Let's be safe up there.
Cables lift them off the ground.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't want to do that.
Yeah. It's not about gravity. Gravity will do its work for you. You don't have to worry about that. You'll be good.
Funky Giblet says, who's in the jelly roll tier? Mangino and Bielema.
Come on, Funky.
I mean,
that's mean.
I loved Mark Mangino.
Mark Mangino, yeah.
I hope he's doing okay.
I wonder
wherever he is.
What is he doing? I'm gonna look.
Maybe he's an analyst somewhere. He, I don't know. That was a wild time in Kansas football
Mark Mangino,
history.
where is he now? He is currently
I think he's an analyst somewhere.
Former head football coach at the University of Kansas. He's currently living in his hometown of Newcastle, Pennsylvania.
Oh, just vibing?
Yeah. He was recently inducted into the Kansas Sports Hall of Fame, though.
That's weird because they fired him.
Yeah, right?
That's awkward.
Maybe it's like the state's Hall of Fame. Maybe it's not like Kansas
the University
Jayhawks.
of Kansas?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would be awkward. You'd be like,
Yeah.
Hey, we fired you for cause because we thought you were bullying players.
Our bad. Sorry.
And, well, I guess you're a Hall of Famer now, so...
Welcome back to the fold.
We cool? Yeah? Handshake meme? No? All right.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that.
Coming up next, we're going to get into our Battle at the Buell preview here on Hurrdat Sports Live. Don't forget, if you're out on the road this morning, make sure you got that seat belt fastened and make it click. It prevents injuries and saves lives, but only if worn properly. This message brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We'll be back with more.
Yeah, I mean, we were watching Cincinnati in the spring. You know, we were watching Cincinnati in the summer. It's just kind of what we do. You know, I think I've watched. I walked by X office today. You know, their special teams coordinator just came from another school. He was watching that. You know, our guys were watching them. So we've watched them a ton. I think when you start to look at, you know, personnel, that becomes very different because they could bring other guys in. But, you know, some of their top players, the quarterback, you know, the nose tackle, the tight end, and many more have been there. They've brought in a bunch of good players. I think for us, though, I think it's really crucial is we will not start talking about the first opponent until Friday with our team. So to me, it is a slippery slope when you start talking about them really early, because by the time the game gets there, it's like, you know, I want there to be like that feeling of game week. And so especially for the next week. And so like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, while Thursday will be a mock game, we are playing ourselves still. Like I hear a lot of coaches, you know, they believe in like, hey, getting the 2s and 3s ready, you know, and, you know, resting the 1s. You know, we're trying to catch a lot of teams ahead of us in the Big Ten that are pretty good teams. And so we have work to do. So we're going to work on us this week.
Yeah, we just keep harping on routine plays, and then those things turn into big plays. We've been explosive at times, which I haven't seen since I've been here. So that's coming together. I think they're buying into it. Camp's hard. This has been a tough camp. It's hard everywhere, and so those guys are doing a good job of getting their bodies ready to get out there and play. Just every week, just routine plays, and what you see with those routine plays is more first downs, but more explosive plays too. Because if you're just making routine play after routine play, those things tend to go.
As an offensive line coach, you're always, preparing for the worst, right? So, but I think going into a training camp, the whole overall unit has been the best since we've been here. And, I was talking to Coach Cooley, my assistant, the other day, and, we haven't seen too many units that we've been around that's been this deep from, the top group to the last guy on the roster. So, we're excited to be able to, go to work with them every day and just keep focusing on improving and, just playing to our standard.
How do you size up the tackle situation right now? You've got 4 or 5 good options. Where does it stand in your mind?
It's still wide open. Guys are battling. We got a lot of guys with really good experience. Gunner shows up, Turner's back, Teddy's back. You got Tyler Kanak over there, right? Obviously Pritchett is here, so they're all battling. They're all working hard, and at the end of the day, we're gonna play the guy that's gonna execute and play with our technique and play with the effort that's required for us to be a championship level team.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's Austin. I'm Ravi here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now to preview the Battle at Buell by Millard North volleyball coach Lindsay Grant, West volleyball coach Joe Wessel, and Millard South assistant Angela Thorn. Guys, how are we doing this morning?
Good. How are you?
Great. Good morning.
We are doing well. I'm a Millard North grad here, so we're going to start with Coach Grant. How did this whole idea come about? It obviously gives some reminiscent of Volleyball Day in Nebraska with Nebraska volleyball at Memorial Stadium, but how did this come about? Where did this idea come from, and at what point did you convince somebody at Millard Public Schools that you could pull this off?
Yeah, so I think it was last fall when other high schools were posting that they were doing the outdoor match. I sent something to Joe, and he very quickly said yes, and drew something. Jasa, the head coach at Millard South, swung it by our athletic directors. My AD, Mally, was on board right away, and then we had a district meeting, and Chad Zimmerman gave the approval, and from there it was really how do we get a court and what logistics need to go into it.
Okay, so what's the toughest part about that when you're scheduling it and starting this type of event? You mentioned you started like a year out from it. When did those first steps, how do you attack those first steps? Is it really just making sure the venue is capable of holding something like this?
The court has been the biggest overhaul. Nobody just has a court in their garage to use. So we had to get in contact with USA Volleyball. Our region rep, Craig, has been helpful to make those contacts. So then it's just logistics from there of making sure it arrives on time, which it should be there today. A forklift, all those things that kind of go into it in the back end.
So I'm assuming that we're putting this thing together piece by piece. Like you guys aren't there yourselves, like hammering that thing in, are you? Like they're helping you install it?
Yeah, so it's actually been kind of a district effort. So Millard North and Millard South Football will help us put it all together Thursday morning at 6 a.m. And it is 4x4 tiles that all connect. So it's kind of a jigsaw puzzle a little bit, but we'll get it together and then we'll take it apart that night and get to celebrate.
So I'm sure the obvious, thought was to put it at Buell because it's the outdoor stadium. It kind of copies what we saw from the other high schools and smaller communities and such. But was it one of those that Millard North, Millard West, you guys are just looking at Millard South like, you going to raise your hand? Like, can we use Buell? Like, is that okay?
We only have one stadium for the district, so it is just the Buell Stadium is the district one where all the football teams use. So I thought that was a no-brainer.
Coach Wessel from Millard West. So what excites you the most about this whole situation? I mean, obviously it's a super cool idea having all three Millard teams involved. Like, what's the most exciting thing that you're looking forward to, or that maybe your team shared with you that they're looking forward to about this?
Yeah, I would say just the community and the process. Yes, it's been fun. It's been stressful, but Millard has three amazing schools, and yes, we are a rivalry with each other, but at the same time, we got to build relationships with each other. Our girls are really excited. That's all they've been talking about. I also teach elementary PE, so I know a lot of my students are really excited. We've kind of set it up as a fun family event. So the atmosphere is going to be more than just volleyball. It's more about the Millard community and just kind of bringing everybody together, our feeder schools, everybody that supports us. We've had a lot of outreach from sponsors. We've had Love Volleyball sponsor part of our kids zone. So it's just kind of stemming from the beginning and going all the way through high school, college, and even into the pros. So it's a really cool event that ties everybody together.
Coach Thorn, when you look at the challenges when it comes to an outdoor event like this, you don't regularly, or I assume you're probably not practicing outside really at all. Is this something that's been a part of the fall camps or summer practices where it's just an exhibition, but you want to look good, you want to practice well? Are you doing anything outdoors to prepare for this?
Not really. We have talked about maybe going to like a sand court, but that doesn't help anything because we're not playing on sand. We talked about maybe just going outside and serving a ball on the field, but I logistically, there's not really a way to recreate what we'd be doing.
I know that Coach Cook mentioned this during the volleyball day in Nebraska, but the setters really have the toughest job, right? Because they're the one that has to position everyone outside and be able to set the ball accordingly. But when you have any type of wind or any type of factor, that can greatly affect. I guess just a general question for all three of you, is that something you've talked to your teams about, that it's probably not going to look perfect on Thursday, but just do the best that you can with all the other factors that are going into it?
Yeah. We talked a lot about it, just making sure that we're having fun. I mean, it's a fun event, like Joe said, with the whole community. So having fun, volleyball is a little bit secondary, and it's a jamboree for a reason. We learn.
So let me ask you. Oh, go ahead, Coach Thorn.
Right. No, I was just going to say we do some grass volleyball in the summer, so our girls are kind of a little bit used to playing. The ball's a little heavier, but they're used to kind of playing that wind. So not the same, but kind of the same.
For sure. And I get you. I do wonder what.
Hi, Damon.
Everyone says hi.
He is here. He does exist. No. So I am curious, like, as you're putting this together, obviously it's a super cool event. Coach Wessel, you talked about sort of the community aspect, but I guess what are your goals for this event? Is this something you're hoping to do maybe every year? Is this something that, at some point you're hoping you could play regular season matches maybe once in a while in this type of format? Is it just to shine the light on three like great schools and volleyball programs? Like what's the goal from the whole event?
I think we kind of talked about this. We've even had some people reach out to us and say, is this going to be an annual thing? And doing it the first time is always the hardest. And as you kind of go through and you understand what works and what doesn't work, it definitely probably could get easier. But I think this year we're just going to enjoy the moment. And then we'll maybe reconvene after this season and see, if this wants to be a annual thing and maybe even a regular season kind of game. So it's definitely up in the air. It's a really cool opportunity for everybody. So
I want to start with you, Coach Thorn. We'll kind of maybe go around the horn here. How does this type of contest and exhibition, obviously you'll play a lot of Class A schedule across the metro. This is going to be the Millard schools. There's going to be a little bit of that rivalry tinge to it, but in all, it's still a jamboree. It's an exhibition when it comes down to it. How does this set up and prepare you for the start of your season?
Well, Millard West and Millard North are both two tough teams, so I think it brings us the challenge right off the bat, giving us the opportunity to go out and maybe work some lineups, try some different things. You can't go wrong when you play against two tough teams. So,
and then kind of going just down the road there, Coach Joe, when you look at kind of your side, you just heard good praise from one of your rivals that you're one of the top teams in the state. I mean, that has to make you feel good getting into one of these.
Yeah, and that's what the Jamboree, we love that the NSAA opened up this Jamboree event a few years ago. It's an opportunity to play somebody, one, that you normally don't play. For us, we usually play during the season, but Class A is just a juggernaut of really good volleyball. So day in and day out, I mean, you're going to see the best of the best. And I honestly wouldn't rather share this court with anybody else. I'm glad that Millard South and Millard North are part of it. I think we're going to push each other. It's going to be a battle. And I think it's going to help us kind of prepare for the beginning of the preseason.
Coach Grant, obviously they kind of set the boundary for you here. If you just want to give him bulletin board material for this one, I mean, you can just, Mustangs could sweep here if you wanted.
I'm going to echo exactly what they said. I think opening up with both of them prepares us for our schedule. Our schedule, we start off nice and fast with Papio South, followed by Papio South, Elkhorn South, Gretna. So there is no other way to open up the season, and being able to kick this off with our Millard schools is fantastic. I also think it's a good opportunity for the girls to play in front of a lot of people, to hopefully prepare us as we get closer to some postseason, deal with those nerves a little bit.
Coach Grant, I'll stay with you here for a second. I know that in Omaha, especially the volleyball community is, I would say, almost unusually close-knit. It's a very tight community. Amongst whether you're rivals in high school, you got the club volleyball scene, the whole thing, right? How much did that help in terms of getting support for this event and sort of getting it off the ground in terms of what's a pretty big lift here?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. I mean, working with Millard West and Millard South, obviously that's just icing on the cake, being able to work with them, meet with them often, but also all the clubs that got involved as sponsors. Soldier Sports has been a fantastic resource for us, helping us through everything from T-shirts to forklift. So I think anything that has to do with volleyball in the state of Nebraska, people are just willing to jump on and to help. And so that has made it really easy.
So when you look at how this event will transpire for Thursday, if people are wanting to get out there, go enjoy the fun, there's a lot of extra things that are going. There's going to be some former Huskers that are hanging out. I've been told you can go bring the kids. They'll have a grand time. If it's the family atmosphere, how are people going to be able to either get tickets? Do they just come to the door? Can they buy them pre-sale? How is that looking?
Yeah, so normal game, you can walk up and buy tickets is probably the easiest way. We have all posted links to buy tickets ahead of time on our socials. During the event, there will be lots of interactive things for the kids and the families. We'll have a kids zone that's sponsored by Love. And so they'll have some athletes there, some glow sticks and pom-poms, all that good stuff. And then in between each match, we'll have a serving contest for K through 8th graders. They can come down, they serve, they hit a pizza box. They get a pizza for Union Pizza.
Can we call this maybe like a championship series? Could like the winner just claim Millard for the rest of the year in volleyball? I know you don't want to put that high of standards on it, but I think the higher the stakes, the more regular we could make an event like this.
I'm sure we could throw something on it.
I mean, we do play each other during the season, so this is just a warm-up game.
The Millard Championship Series, we could find a trophy for that.
Yeah, I think we could make some T-shirts or something like that. Only if Millard North wins, but if
I like your biased.
100%. Coach Grant, Coach Wessel, Coach Thorn, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Can't wait to experience the event on Thursday, August 21st at Buell Stadium. Make sure you get out there. Guys, thank you so much for joining us and for putting on such a terrific event.
Thank you, guys.
That is our preview of Battle at Buell. That is going to be a super cool event. I'm excited for it. I can't wait for the I honestly never really seen anything like it. Obviously, last year or 2 years ago, you had the deal at Memorial Stadium for Volleyball Day in Nebraska, but nothing like this before at the high school level with the Millard schools going at it. And if Millard North beats both of them, then maybe we'll have to make some T-shirts.
Trophy season.
Some Mustangs forever, whatever. Ring season.
It was always Stangs.
Yeah, it was. Forgot about Stangs. I don't know. Maybe I'll make a Dr. Dre parody rap in honor of the Schick and Nick show we were here last night.
Why not?
Austin, thank you for filling in. DB is here now. He'll join me next on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Give me that cheddar, we getting Rico. Big money and rolls like burritos. Give me that hot sauce, no pico. Give me that.
Yeah, I feel tremendously great. My body's in the best shape it's been in. Not tired at all. Sleeping great, recovering 3 times a day, morning, after practice, and at night before I head home. So just taking that next step of taking care of my body is the biggest thing for me, just so that I can give my teammates my 100% best. And I think they deserve that, and I know they deserve that, so that's the least I can do for them.
What's your weight in camp? Like, what are you trying to keep your weight at around camp?
Yeah, it's like 225, 230, and it's right now it's more of a maintain. There's no gain and losing, none of that. It's more how I feel and how I'm moving. So feel like I've been moving the best I've been since I've been in college, and look to just keep it there. And at the end of the day, it's really my body comp, and my body comp's right. So that's we're very excited about that.
I think that was good for me. It allowed me to develop as a player, kind of see how things worked around here, and just figure out how I could best help the team, especially coming into this year. Coach Schwartz has instilled a lot of confidence in me, and that's just helped me a lot, being out in the field and making an impact.
What is your relationship like with him?
Coach Schwartz, it's amazing. He's one of the best things that ever happened to me as a coach. Like I said, he instills a lot of confidence in me, and he trusts me. And, it just makes me want to go out there and play my hardest every play.
How has he done that? How is he building you up?
I think he's brought our room really tighter. I think that helps. And, we have a really tight connection. And I think just the way he talks to me and the way he's helped me through, bad practices and good practices and, how he talks to me has really helped me be confident and, play my best.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like a veteran unit. When I first got here, they were the older guys to me, so they have brought me along since I got here as a freshman. And it's a lot of experience across the board from Henry, myself, Turner, Teddy, obviously Rocco. Coming from a program like that, we have no reason why we shouldn't win.
How inspirational has it been to watch Teddy and Turner in particular recover from these injuries over many years?
Yeah, it's been very inspirational. Just watching Turner battle through his adversity throughout his career, it hasn't been a single day where he hasn't gotten up and came in the building with a positive mindset And with Teddy, you know, same thing. Everybody knows Teddy's career's been up and down, but he just stays neutral the whole time, and it's inspiring to see. Just because those guys, no matter what they go through, they're still coming in with their head on their shoulders with a positive attitude every day.
We're in the neighborhood, just down the street. With a wide variety of home equity products to help you create a relaxing oasis. So you can kick back and relax in comfort. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I'll tell you what is exciting because it's defense. You know, we have a lot going on, a lot of movement, and just kind of like working in space a lot of times. So for us, we have the ability to rush the pass and do different things. Having different guys on the field that just kind of like, you know, that might, you know, right now we're just working with the Jacks on the field, but that, obviously game by game that kind of run its own course. But in reality, you know, just that room itself has a lot of flexibility. Everybody have their own natural traits, you know, and things that they're really good at. So it's all about, you know, week after week, just looking at who can we exercise best, you know, to help service the team in that upcoming week. But overall, it's just, it boils down to a room full of guys who all have one common goal, but they all have different traits to be successful. So it's a pretty good room to have in terms of just the versatility.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. Don't forget, Tuesdays means kids eat free with the purchase of an adult entree. Make sure you get in here to the La Vista or Gretna locations. DB.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm good, man. You like my voice?
I do. It sounds raspy. You sound like an old blues singer.
Man, that thing was raggedy. Raggedy.
You sound like you could be at the end of Sinners.
No, I got to... Oh, man. So many jokes. Nah, I like that movie, though. A little overrated, but I like it. Yeah, it was good, man.
Yeah.
Got a good day's worth of work in. We're ready to go. And just hanging in there. It's weird. You know, I joked about, I didn't joke. I was being serious about Nebraska and getting in this week and the degree of difficulty when you're getting ready for a game.
Yeah.
And you're kind of in those dog days, right? Yeah, we experienced that this morning, right? Where the only reason I lost my voice is because I actually snapped. Like, I'm the one that is kind of the funny guy, the chill. Like, we work. Now, don't get it twisted.
But
like,
you're not a big yeller. I've seen you coach.
But our guys kind of know my temperament. And, you know, we're doing this kind of round robin, and we want to tackle. And it's tough, right? North is right on the, like, we're almost within a week where we can start, like, real game prep. But we still got to take care of some other things. And it's early. It's 5:35, man. And we wanted a couple drills early to wake us up. And I lost my mind in one of the drills, and it was on the DBs and wide receiver group.
Mm-hmm.
They're the biggest group, and I like the way they were working. And so they're the only one that didn't get to actually do the circuit part. They got to go get in shape. I said, hey, you guys have earned the right to go get in shape. Let's hit that foul pole, come back. You got 12 seconds. I'll count it down. So I'm barking.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole place can hear me, right? It's embarrassing because that's not my style.
Yeah.
Normally. And this ding-dong Micah comes over to me after practice. I'm dead serious. This dude he's a pup now.
Yeah.
But this is our relationship. I'm no cap. This is what he said. He comes over. He puts his arm around me. He says, you good? I said, yeah, you good? Like, I'm, you know.
Yeah.
A little surly. Hey, man. Didn't want you to stroke out there. You didn't seem real happy this morning. Hey.
Do you want to choke him?
I looked at Coach Lamanji. God is my witness. I looked at Coach Lamanji. I said, get this dude before we're down a player. That's the kind of stuff he does.
I knew when you said Micah comes over to me, I was like, oh, it's going to be good.
This the same dude that left his gloves on the field yesterday and asked me to bring them to him this morning because he forgot to get them in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So I put them in a Ziploc bag because they smell like 8-day-old boogeyman poop, right? So I bring you your gloves, we get it on lock, and that's the best thing you want to say to me? Don't expect to eat, man. May choke the life out of you. That's where we're at, though.
That was a very Micah story.
Yeah, it is, man. This dude, Brian, he lives for drama, don't he? This dude comes in the chat just constantly.
I mean, he's a hater. He's a hater.
Like, I
It's
don't.
fine.
So I just want to know, like, the affiliation, because the other day it was Dylan can't throw a ball and doesn't have good passes, and is he ever going to let one rip? Today we're gassing up the whole Bryson Williams thing. Like,
Well, not even
like
that.
that's my guy,
you
man.
missed him earlier, too.
Like, anything you want to know about Bryson and how it was handled with Nebraska, like, come to the source, man. Don't just charcoal the deal. Like, you people that love scorched earth, it is wild. You don't have to like everybody, man, but to go out of your way to be destructive it's too hard, man. Life is too short.
Well, he was gassing up. We were talking about Coach Rhule earlier on the.
You know he doesn't like Coach Rhule.
I know he's bringing. Well, the record against ranked teams and.
That's what he always says.
No, it's the same stuff.
He said it last year.
He said it like last week. He does it all the time.
Him and Game Dog, if they're even two different people, I don't know.
It's all the time. And listen, I mean, let's not pay attention to context or what he took over. Or
But
don't worry about that.
You can't defend it, man, because if the people that we cheer for always spend time being or reveling in who they were or who they have been, there's no sense in cheering for them. You just know what you're going to get. So why is there fandom, right? Just if you like Chicago, man, just never get out of 1985.
Yeah.
If you like Nebraska, never get out of 1994. But when it's to the good, we make fun of people. But when it's to the bad and we mire in it, it's like, oh, man, you can't give that any credence.
It's my least favorite kind of hater. It's the one that pretends to be like, no, I'm just a realist. It's like, no, you're a hater. Like, I could sit here and tell you I'm a hater of Dan Hurley. I'm a hater of Deion Sanders. I'm a hater of Curt Cignetti. But I know what I am.
Like, you just
right?
You just
like I just don't like
drama. And I'm not going to defend Bryson. I mean, he can say what he wants to, but clearly it was taken out of context too, right? The clip that was posted on social media, there was a multi-part question.
Yep.
I mean, it did its job, right? It kicked up dust.
Got the clicks.
So, I mean, good on 3 and everybody else, but man, we are really, really funny. It's a lot of miserable people.
Just keep that same energy when I'm right. All right?
No, don't say that.
No, I do. I want him to keep the same energy when I'm right.
Don't
And
say
if
that.
I'm wrong, I'll come out. I'll eat it.
Well, rest assured, he's going to keep that same energy.
Like if I'm wrong, I'll come here and eat it, like I did with Jalen Hurts, and like I did when I was like, hey, let's not pay Brock Purdy $53 million. Like, I'll come here and eat it, like I do everything else. Like I do when Nebraska beats Creighton in basketball. I will come here and eat it because that's what I do.
Shane, how you doing this morning? You know what I noticed yesterday when we were chopping it up outside about the schedule?
What'd you notice?
You've got a lot more gray, man. You good? You noticed that? Have you noticed that? Shane, you stressed?
I don't know. If I was stressed, what should I do to?
Don't ask. Hey, listen, I'm the last guy to ask.
I think Sauter might have some supplements for you.
Supplements, or
no,
should I
Shane ain't doing that.
Should I pick up like?
Sauter shouldn't be pushing that on people. Who is he?
Should I
Frank
pick up
Brown or some Frank Lucas or somebody?
Should I pick up like exercising or something?
I thought you were doing that.
You know,
man.
like boxing to get the stress out.
No, don't do that.
I was like, that'll cause stress, man. It's gonna hurt you.
Don't do that.
I smell like melatonin. Just like go to sleep.
I'm afraid to take it.
I don't like melatonin.
I'm on this Core 21 now.
I don't like melatonin. I get the crazy dreams on the melatonin.
So what I missed this morning?
We talked a lot about the Coach Rhule Cignetti athletic coaching tiers that they put out a couple days ago. That was a hot topic. We got to talk to the volleyball coaches.
Yeah, I'm sad I missed that. I really like volleyball, especially locally.
For battle at Buell, so that's going to be fun on Thursday. I'm excited for that.
The Millard Triangular.
Yeah.
You should have asked him, like, what I want to know,
triangular.
is there as much vitriol in volleyball as there is in every other sport amongst that?
It didn't seem like it. So I kind of was trying to ask that question a little bit when I asked sort of about the close-knit community.
Oh, yeah, volleyball is pretty tight-knit.
And how they work together to put the thing on. I didn't want to just come out and be like, hey, it seems like you hate each other less than everybody else in the Millard schools.
You know what's funny about volleyball is the coaches are kind of the anti-fan base. The fan base still kind of gatekeeps it a little bit.
Seems like the coaches just
don't, man. They want to grow. They want to grow the sport.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. The fans kind of gatekeep still, and I get it. But the coaches are all in on growing the sport.
And so they honestly, I was sort of trying to ask that without just coming out and saying it. But no, it seemed like they got along reasonably well, and I think they've had to work together really closely to pull this off. Because I mean, you know, we're going to go on Thursday. You're going to see the volleyball court on the football field at Buell, and you're going to think like, oh, that's cool. Like, that's an enormous lift. Like, that's a crazy, crazy thing they're pulling off.
Yeah, man, that is.
I'm happy for them.
Good on the creativity too, because sometimes to get folks to play nice together isn't always easy.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? You start talking about revenue and gate and splits and 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, and this idea and this logo.
Like, well, it's our facility.
But Millard is. To their credit, they've been good at sharing. I mean, Buell has kind of been.
It's the district stadium.
It's the hubbub.
Yeah.
Right. And so.
But it'd be easy to get territorial if we were Millard South and be like, well, we'll split gate, but we get concessions. Or, you know, like you can.
Yeah, they probably aren't able.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to agree to do this thing, and you could tell in the interview, right? Pretty good natured.
Yeah, absolutely.
All three across the board.
I thought so. Yeah.
I had some jokes too. I was trying to bust my hump. I said, Shane, if I don't get there, early. I don't want to come in the middle of the interview.
Yeah.
But I had some jokes queued up.
Well, what'd you have?
I like the volleyball community, and I'm kind of familiar. Well, they don't know me. Like, I follow obviously the sport.
Mm-hmm.
I just was gonna try to tell a few jokes, but they got along well, so it wasn't gonna be pertinent.
I know. I was gonna ask.
You can throw one of the jokes here if you want.
Well, it doesn't. Well, you won't get it.
I can laugh no matter what you say. I can laugh.
Oh man, it's like I tell a height joke, man. You wouldn't get it.
It's right over your head.
That's childish. Quick, but childish.
I was gonna ask if Coach Grant, Coach Wessel ever ganged up on Millard South and Coach Thorn over there, and
why?
Well, because Millard North and Millard West, there's a barrier between them and Millard South in terms of how they feel about each other. I kind of broke this down for Austin a little bit, but I think it's because Millard North and Millard West share some of the middle schools.
Yeah.
And Millard South doesn't. They're their whole own thing.
Keywit, Millard North, Middle.
Yeah, so you know a lot of kids that end up going to Millard West. If you're a Millard North kid, you don't know anybody who goes to Millard South, really. So it's a different level of.
And Millard South were getting kids that may not have been at the middle school before the other two were.
Yeah. So I think there's a different level of animosity for Millard South.
Everybody hates Millard South.
That's how it's always been. I'm not saying
it wasn't always like that.
I mean, since
newsflash, pre-you, everybody hated Millard North.
I know, and then I came along, I changed everything.
No, then there was some equal opportunity offending, right? I mean, Millard West had only been open a handful of years before they won the state title.
Yeah, no, they got good in a hurry.
Then the hate shifted.
Yeah,
and Millard South isn't even the Johnny come latelys, because I think in 07 or 08 when they won it, Central won it one of those years, and then
Central won it in.
And then Millard South won it together with Marsh, I think, and then it shifted.
Yeah. I just mean internally within Millard. I don't know what happens outside Millard, but internally it's always kind of been.
It's always funny too. Millard South has always kind of trumpeted themselves as kind of that blue collar Millard school, and I'm like, do you guys not know Nolan Urban? Shoot, I like for that guy to put me to work. No, but the cool thing about Nolan, though, why I like him, he's still tough. You'd never know.
Yeah,
he's just a dude's dude. So I can rock with all of them. It doesn't really matter to me.
There's no real animosity on my part. It's just I'm definitely gonna roll with my Mustangs always.
No, you got it. It's different. You have skin in the game.
I do. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
we play against everybody, but until we start getting dominated, I'm not gonna feel it's just good ball.
Yeah.
Now we start getting worked for a handful of years.
Gonna feel type.
I might develop some disdain, but for right now,
you had family go to Millard North though. That's
yeah,
you got a little skin in the game.
So I rock with Millard North.
Yeah,
and I used to really like Millard West. Didn't bother me either.
Yeah,
and Petito, Coach Petito, I apologize, Coach. Before I really got Coach Petito, actually got me started in coaching high school.
Really?
Yeah, because I hired we
Mm-hmm.
at the Omaha Beef hired he and Coach Chavez.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
When I was helping in the front office with Noddle and John Bostic. So Petito has always been my guy.
Yeah.
And I met him. I met Coach Lamanji. A crazy story. I'm trying to get ready for a Cox broadcast. So I'm just shooting the breeze with Coach Petito in the summer. Because he's the only coach I knew. He wrote everything down. It was always on paper. And so I knew we had them in the opener. And it's a couple months early. We're still in May, maybe. And so I go up there, and I know he's up there. I mean, fresh out of running, towel around his.
I was gonna say, was he around the track?
I mean, super tan, like, dude. And so we're up there, and he's like, "Hey, I gotta let you go, not to kick you out of here, right?" He said, "But Burke's got a new head coach." He said, "Paul Amanji from Millard West is coming over, and we're gonna talk about a few things." So I was like, "Oh, okay, no problem." So as I'm leaving, Coach Lamanji's coming in, and we shake hands, and Coach Petito introduces us, and I said, "Oh yeah," I said, "Remember we were doing game of the week and stuff, so we had him the year before, and I'd never seen a school practice platooning before.
Yeah.
So they platoon.
Yeah.
Like offense was way over there, and defense was over here, and I was like, damn, like this is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's kind of like college.
Yeah.
And some of his D-line drills were so good. He had this guy Wes Matthews and Lil Pete was there. He was only like a junior. And I'm watching these guys go through D-line drills, and we would shoot stuff for the open.
Oh, yeah.
So I told our camera guys, I was like, hey, man, we get this guy's D-line drills. This is legit. And so when I shook hands with Coach Lamanji, I was like, hey, remember I'm the weird guy that was infatuated with your drills? He's like, oh, yeah. God is my witness. Like 2 hours later, the phone rings. I didn't answer. Rings. I didn't answer. I get it. Save your jokes. A lot of you guys are like, yeah, that's how you do me. But he wasn't plugged in yet. Like I didn't know the number.
Yeah.
So finally I answered because it was like 3 times within an hour. He's like, hey, is this Damon? I said, yeah. He said, this is Paul Amanji, new head coach at Omaha Burke. Just so I said, hey, coach, how you doing? He literally said, hey, Coach Petito tells me if I'm starting a staff, you're a guy that I should look up. You interested? If I'm lying, I'm dying. Ask Coach Lamanji that. I said no 3 times, 4 days in a row. I said, Coach, I've never coached before. I really only do the indoor game. Like, never coached high school kids. He said, oh, okay. You think about it. I'll get back with you. He called on a Thursday. Was like, hey, you like grilled cheese? I was like, yeah. He goes, meet me up at Paradise Bakery. Let's talk. I ended up saying, yeah. Swear to goodness. That's how the whole thing started. So funny. I rock with Petito.
Yeah.
I like Millard West because, I was a McLaughlin guy.
Yeah.
Big McLaughlin guy. And Dostal's our principal over at Westside, who started at Millard West. Loof was a Millard West guy.
Yeah.
So, I was super close to Andy Means.
Oh, yeah.
I love Coach Geary. I don't play favorites.
That's all right.
You like story time with DB and his raggedy voice?
I love story time with DB.
I want to talk like NFL and Nebraska football. We got Schaefer at 9, right?
We got Schaefer at 9.
He's still in. Is he fresh off the move? Has the Eagle landed?
So he's at the house, but hasn't got his office set up, so it'll just be phone for him.
Well, it'd be interesting. I won't get to see the beard.
Yeah, you won't get to see what he's looking like, but he should be good to go. Should be good to go. And then we'll talk a little UCLA at the end of the show.
Yeah. Did you watch them on camp preview?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Are you buying Shane? We got to get Yogi Roth. So note to self: he doesn't tell us no. Yogi likes us.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think of UCLA.
Are you buying the D-line depth? They didn't. The camp is usually optimistic. It didn't seem too high on UCLA.
Their coach, by the way, Foster?
You like Deshaun?
He might be the most serious coach in the Big Ten.
Yeah, Deshaun doesn't play.
He does not play. I was like, this guy is not a boatload of fun, but dang, I would play for him.
That's my man that told you where UCLA was located. You know, in Los Angeles.
We're in LA. No, I don't know what to make of UCLA. I really don't.
You nervous?
Not really nervous.
Were you bothered that the fact that Nico didn't have his hair tied up? Are you cool with the poof under the helmet?
I don't love it.
I knew you would critique that. Don't be so shallow like
You
your
know
boy.
how shallow I am.
No, I'm the worst.
Like, you know how shallow I am.
Both can't be that way.
I legitimately, like, TJ Huzmanzada is one of my least favorite players in league history.
Because you can't get past the hair?
I can't get past how it looks.
Man, I had to rock with Pal Mao. You better get over it.
I don't have to.
Wow.
I don't need to root for UCLA or Nico I am a leaving.
I'm a leaving. You better hope that ain't on zone read.
I don't need that.
Man, these guys are on me, man. I apologize for my voice. I do. I apologize.
I think it looks good. I think it sounds good.
Bill told me he'd kill me if I took any days off. He said, you better get your ass to work. I said, Bill, man, I'm on it. I'm on it, man. I promise you.
Let's.
It's like, I know Chris is busy being nice to you, but you better get your ass to work.
Let's take a quick break here. We can get to some Nebraska football stuff because we heard from one of my favorite guys yesterday. A couple of my favorite guys yesterday.
Were you just like gushing?
I was. Who do you think they were?
Team Glaze. Ravi, Lulla.
Who do you think my favorite guys were that we heard from yesterday?
I have no idea.
Well, I'll tease it. We'll come.
It's got to be Braden, right?
He's one of them.
I don't know. We got to talk about that barbecue take.
You know who the other one is? The guy I've been hyping up for the last year.
Ravi on the team hype train.
I'm just saying. You ever seen a 275-pound man look as lean as Keona Davis?
No, he's a monster.
My Lord.
You rang.
That dude looks like a problem. That's TV. I'm Ravi Lulla. We'll be back. We're Hurrdat Sports Live.
Give me that cheddar, we getting Rico. Big bunny and rolls like burritos. Give me that hot sauce, no pico. Give me that.
Yeah, I feel tremendously great. My body's in the best shape it's been in. Not tired at all. Sleeping great. Recovering 3 times a day, morning, after practice, and at night before I head home. So just taking that next step of taking care of my body is the biggest thing for me, just so that I can give my teammates my 100% best. And I think they deserve that, and I know they deserve that. So that's the least I can do for them.
What's your weight in camp? Like, what are you trying to keep your weight at around camp?
Yeah, it's like 225, 230, and it's right now it's more of a maintain. There's no gain and losing, none of that. It's more how I feel and how I'm moving. So feel like I've been moving the best I've been since I've been in college, and look to just keep it there. And at the end of the day, it's really my body comp, and my body comp's right. So that's we're very excited about that.
I think that was good for me. It allowed me to develop as a player, kind of see how things worked around here, and just figure out how I could best help the team, especially coming into this year. Coach Schwartz has instilled a lot of confidence in me, and that's just helped me a lot, being out in the field and making an impact.
What is your relationship like with him?
Coach Schwartz, it's amazing. He's one of the best things that ever happened to me as a coach. Like I said, he instills a lot of confidence in me, and he trusts me. And, it just makes me want to go out there and play my hardest every play.
How has he done that? Like, how is he building him up?
I think he's brought our room really tighter. I think that helps, and we have a really tight connection, and I think just the way he talks to me and the way he's helped me through just bad practices and good practices, and how he talks to me has really helped me be confident and play my best.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Oh, you trying to get me in trouble. But I don't say it. I'm a Gates man. No sauce, all barbecue. And I hope y'all try some Gates if y'all come now. I appreciate y'all time. Thank y'all so much.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Central Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. And DB has taken umbrage with the barbecue takes of one Terry Braden Jr.
No, it's fine. I like the no sauce, all barbecue. That is fire.
You're not a sauce guy.
That's perfect.
As we know.
Number one, not all gates are created equal.
Okay.
There's only one gate you can go to. It just happens to be the one that's in the closest proximity to Arrowhead and Kaufman.
So that makes sense for him.
You got to stay in the hood if you want to hit the right gates. But on top of that, it's like 4 or 5 in the city.
Even the good one? Even the good gates is like 4th or 5th?
I think it's still 4th or 5th in the city.
All right, well, give me the power rankings. People are going to be heading down to Kansas City in like a week.
So this is the thing with barbecue. I try not to tell people.
They got preferences, right? Personal preferences.
Listen, if you like good deep smoke, or you're not a good deep smoke guy, sometimes that matters. If you like pulled pork versus burnt ends, or you like ribs versus chicken. The one thing that Gates in the Hood does, can I say Gates in the Hood?
Yes.
Thank you. He would let me too. That dude.
You can say whatever you want.
He told me he loved me. I said, I love you too. Caught me off guard. And he gave me a hug that hurt. But anyway.
And I think it's going to be a great time with shocking effort.
He does everything with intensity, even handshakes.
Yeah.
Hey,
he
any
of
you guys meet Coach Braden and you give him a handshake, you better firm up.
Yeah.
Don't be going with that limp-wristed, spread finger stuff. You better go in there locked and loaded, cock diesel.
Is he like a standard shake, or is it like a dap up deal?
No. Give it to me.
No dapping up.
This one right here.
Oh, that's
yeah. You getting that one
that's
right?
A squeeze.
You getting that one right there.
Is he? Will he do the like?
I don't know. You better give it to him early.
Okay.
So he knows.
Yeah. I go in. Like
you got to show him like a good 3 or 4 feet away. Like.
Yeah. I go in like this. So people know.
Don't be the hidden greeting guy.
Like, oh snap! Yeah.
You know, because then it's awkward,
then
and then dudes don't want to do it. Like,
yeah.
Come with it early or this one.
Yeah, I go up early.
Or show it early if you're gonna be a fist bump guy.
Yeah, just,
show it early.
Yeah, you can't be a last second fist bump guy. That's a tough look.
I know. Then it gets awkward.
Yeah.
No, but people are weird, right? It's.
You mean in terms of their barbecue preferences?
Yeah, like I was just having this conversation because I was super honest about.
I'll be honest. I like a little sauce.
Blowing a piece of meat. I was like, listen, I ruined it. I know it's a little freezer burned, and I tried to salvage it, and
yeah.
I tried the quick smoke method, 5-6 hours. It didn't take any smoke. The picture looked good. Hey, did you see old boy when he said, that actually doesn't look good? Go look at his website. This dude is out here smoking gator and like stuffed chicken and stuff. No, I mean, I'm not knocking the hustle. I'm like, what's the difference?
Yeah.
Like, go look at your, I mean, he was just being a dickhead, right? So whatever.
Some
but
people do.
Some people don't like it.
Hmm?
Some people like their stuff sauced.
I do like a little sauce. I like a little sauce.
That's my dude. A little bit of that W sauce. I like people that show you those smoke rings and they're like, ooh, man, look at that smoke ring. I'm like, yeah, but how does it taste?
Yeah.
You know, but like I've tasted rib tips and burnt ends that taste closer to pot roast. So
yeah, I'm not about that.
You know, everybody says Q39. I love Q39, but it's not what I would call traditional barbecue.
So we got Avery, our KC native. She goes, Joe's connected to the gas station in KC.
Like that gets a lot of run.
Okay.
It gets a lot of run, but that Joe's connected to the gas station. Ave, and I'm not going to tell you KC people how to do KC things.
She hit us with the address.
But, I mean, they fancy themselves as sauce people.
The Joes?
Yeah. So
I like a little sauce. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't want it overly sauce, but I like a little sauce.
I do not. I like good smoke. Q39 is fantastic. You're just not going to get traditional, like hickory mesquite.
What do they do? What's Q39 do?
So they're like a play on it. They're like the gastropub version of smoked meats. Like they got a brisket burger and you can get brisket and
okay.
The food is outstanding. But if you're talking
it's not traditional barbecue.
It's not. You're not getting like 4 meat platters with turkey, ham, burnt ends and rib tips.
So
right?
it's like
you can get a burnt end burger,
yeah.
But it's elevated.
Okay. That's like if you're just looking for like a regular ass sandwich, you're probably not going to Block 16.
Why does it have to be regular ass?
I don't know. It's just what I felt like saying today.
No, I ain't mad at you.
So here's my issue with because I know I know you're a big smoke guy. Here's my issue is I feel like sometimes, and maybe I'm just not hanging out with the right people. That's entirely possible.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes the smoke overwhelms the flavor of the meat. And I want to taste the meat.
Yeah, so you know who's a lot like you? That's how Severe is.
Like I want to taste.
So I had to learn that,
what
right?
I mean?
Like he doesn't want, and a lot of people. You're not alone. I bet that's probably 30% of consumers don't want more. They want if it's beef, they want to taste the beef.
Yeah,
if it's chicken, they want to taste the chicken.
Yeah, like I'm okay with like a hint of whatever you're doing
to
prepare it, but I don't want it to be the primary.
He and I vehemently disagree on what I think is the best barbecue in the city here. And his number one complaint will be it's too much smoke. But I think it depends on the meat. If it's beef ribs, like it needs to take in smoke. If it's brisket, it needs to take in smoke. Otherwise, you're just eating roast.
Yeah, fair.
I don't care what anybody, like you can't convince me otherwise.
And those are probably not two of my go-tos in terms of meat.
And it's also different, like if you pull it or shred it or whatever, and you like sauce versus if it's a standalone. People will tell you, Real Q doesn't need sauce. And everybody has their opinion. So I don't enjoy telling people where to go. If you tell me what you like,
okay,
then I can kind of steer you in.
So if I tell you I like the flavor of the meat with a little bit of sauce, where are you sending me?
Char bar.
Char bar?
Char bar.
All right.
I'd send you to Char Bar in Kansas City.
All right.
Legit. Really good cheesy smoky grits.
Ooh,
they'll give you burnt ends.
I like burnt ends.
I like Char Bar.
Okay.
I'm not like don't come at me with the Arthur Bryans and Fat Jacks or Fat Stacks or Double Jacks or whatever. That ain't me. Hey man, Arthur Bryant's, man, you gotta get the sauce. Nah, man. You're the same person.
All barbecue.
You're the same person that tells me to go to Cane's and get extra bread. Nah, man, I go to Rotella's.
If I want bread.
Yes.
I'm just saying, because my order of preference for barbecue, if everything's available, I'm going burnt ends, rib tips, probably ribs next, and then anything after that is extra. If you can't smoke turkey and you can't smoke ham, you shouldn't be in business. And don't do the rib tips.
I love rib tips. I love rib tips.
Good rib tips.
They're probably my favorite if I can get good rib tips.
You're going to have to convince me to my face on why you would order something different if you get good rib tips.
I'll take.
But that's how I feel about burnt ends too, because I can do it with pork belly, or I can give you like beef tips.
You did the corned beef burnt ends, and those were phenomenal.
Come on, man! Right?
Phenomenal.
Like
one of my favorite things I've eaten. Honestly, like I'm not even.
Now that had some smoke.
It did, but I could taste the corned beef.
Yeah, that had.
I don't mind
because
some smoke.
it's a big, thick, dense cut of meat.
Yeah, I don't mind the flavor of the smoke, but like a lot of times, and like I said, it might be because I'm eating with the wrong people. A lot of times,
you know who cut those up for me?
Too much smoke.
You know who cut those
up?
up?
You said Verge did, didn't he?
Yeah. I tried to tell him how,
and he got mad at you.
This dude, he said it, and he had a big old machete.
Yeah,
it was mine, so I shouldn't have been afraid. But he's like, "You want to tell me how to do it?" No, man, knock yourself
No,
out.
we
I'm going to go back downstairs and set up.
I'm the same way with my smoke that I am with the sauce. I like the flavor, but I want to taste the meat still.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want too much. Like, don't smother it with the sauce. Don't overwhelm it with the smoke. I want to taste the meat.
Jack Stack, thank you. Fat stack, Jack Stack.
It's
fat,
all the same.
Jack Stack.
Yeah. But like,
There's
I'll
no
take
disrespect.
burn ends. I'll take rib tips. I'll be honest though. Can I tell you a little secret here?
Yeah.
On my number 3 choice, Tree of Trust here.
Are you going to say ham?
No.
Chicken?
I like hot links.
No, listen. I respect the hustle.
I like hot links.
You like snap or no snap?
I prefer no snap.
Oh,
But
we can't talk. It's okay.
I will eat if it's like.
You don't like a snap?
Not really.
I am not okay. I'm barely getting by.
It's not a deal
Losing
breaker.
track of days.
It's not a deal breaker.
Losing sleep at night. Really?
It's not a deal breaker, but if I'm choosing between, I'll go no snap.
Dang, KB might with you. That might be KB's first misstep in 2 years.
No, he says, wait, you got to have snap. He was talking about hot links. Thank you.
No, I'm with, okay.
But he wants snap.
So he's got to screw up at some point. Have we been mad at KB yet?
I don't think so. Because he was good in the draft.
He was good before that.
Yeah, but I mean, he was like, that's the most.
I respect the call on hot links.
Yeah, I like hot links. I really do.
Are you like a jalapeno cheddar guy?
I'm okay with some different flavors.
Yeah, I just think barbecue is too hard to tell people.
Because there's some places be like have great hot links, but maybe their rib tips aren't as good, or maybe they got great brisket, but if you're a burn ends guy, that's not the place to go.
Hey man, my blank, and chili, or my brisket chili, or my hatch mac, or whatever, and it's like you see it, and it's in something, and it'll have this nice little pink smoke ring, which there's a lot that goes into having a good smoke ring, but it doesn't taste like it was been smoked.
You know what I
need something to taste like it's been smoked.
You know what I almost never get at a barbecue restaurant, even though when it's done well, I really like it.
I got mine.
You want to say it on 3?
1,
2, 3.
Brisket.
Yeah, 100%.
9, 1. Yeah, like
it's so like people screw it up so much that I just won't even take the chance.
I found the one.
People dry it out so much.
I found the one place in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That gets it right. Because good brisket is.
They don't advertise with us, and he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
But he smokes the way that I like meat smoked.
Like a good brisket is.
I mean, deep. Like I could slap you in the face with it, and it wouldn't break.
Yeah.
Be like, no, it might on like the comeback, like, and then it might snap. But it tastes.
Yeah.
Now he did give me some brisket chili, and it separated.
Yeah.
And it gave me the willies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean when I say separated? You got the skim.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is fine because when you cook in bulk and it's barbecue, I'm not gonna knock the hustle.
Well, anytime there's that level of fat in a meat, it's gonna separate like that.
And everything else, I want to say it out loud, but I'm not.
You can tell me off air.
There's a new place in Lincoln that I want to try.
Yeah.
That they just made part of the Husker Bucks. Because, like not all businesses are part of Husker Bucks where you can go. This barbecue spot is.
Yeah.
We were at dinner Sunday. I said, hey, Caleb, give me that card. You only eat at the same 3 places. He's like, yeah, but such and such and such and such and such and such is now on DoorDash. Man, stop DoorDash, and everything is like 4 feet away in Lincoln.
Yeah, quit wasting
Give
that
me
Husker
the
Buck
card.
money.
Let me try out that barbecue and see if the hype is worth it.
We got Mike Schaefer coming up next. I guarantee you the hype is worth it with our guy. We'll be back for Hurrdat Sports Live.
Give me that cheddar, we getting Rico. Big bunny and rolls like burritos. Give me that hot sauce, no pico. Give me that.
Yeah, I feel tremendously great. My body's in the best shape it's been in. Not tired at all. Sleeping great. Recovering 3 times a day, morning, after practice, and at night before I head home. So just taking that next step of taking care of my body is the biggest thing for me, just so that I can give my teammates my 100% best. And I think they deserve that, and I know they deserve that. So that's the least I can do for them.
What's your weight in camp? Like, what are you trying to keep your weight at around camp?
Yeah, it's like 225, 230, and it's right now it's more of a maintain. There's no gain and losing, none of that. It's more how I feel and how I'm moving. So feel like I've been moving the best I've been since I've been in college, and look to just keep it there. And at the end of the day, it's really my body comp, and my body comp's right. So that's we're very excited about that.
I think that was good for me. It allowed me to develop as a player, kind of see how things worked around here, and just figure out how I could best help the team, especially coming into this year. Coach Schwartz has instilled a lot of confidence in me, and that's just helped me a lot, being out in the field and making an impact.
What is your relationship like with him?
Coach Schwartz, it's amazing. He's one of the best things that ever happened to me as a coach. Like I said, he instills a lot of confidence in me, and he trusts me. And, it just makes me want to go out there and play my hardest every play.
How has he done that? How is he building you up?
I think he's brought our room really tighter. I think that helps. And, we have a really tight connection. And I think just the way he talks to me and the way he's helped me through, bad practices and good practices and, how he talks to me has really helped me be confident and, play my best.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like a veteran unit. When I first got here, they were the older guys to me, so they have brought me along since I got here as a freshman. And it's a lot of experience across the board from Henry, myself, Turner, Teddy, obviously Rocco. Coming from a program like that, we have no reason why we shouldn't win.
How inspirational has it been to watch Teddy and Turner in particular recover from these injuries over many years?
Yeah, it's been very inspirational. Just watching Turner battle through his adversity throughout his career, it hasn't been a single day where he hasn't gotten up and came in the building with a positive mindset. And with Teddy, same thing. Everybody knows Teddy's career's been up and down, but he just stays neutral the whole time. And it's inspiring to see, just because those guys, no matter what they go through, they're still coming in with their head on their shoulders with a positive attitude every day.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Oh man, iron sharpens iron. You right? You got Cam. Cam is if he see me down, he picks me up, and that's what it's all about. I was talking about energy vampires in the room, and Coach Rhule does a phenomenal job bringing people in. He brought John Gordon in 5 years ago. Coach Reed bought the whole staff the Energy Bus book, and I'm talking about energy vampire, and he shows up. So these guys in the room, from Cam, from Pop, even if I walk down a slab bit into energy down, Coach, what's wrong? You all right? And that's what it's all about, because we all in this together. It's about us. Us, us, us. And I'm not talking about the D-line, I'm talking about everybody.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That was my new favorite assistant coach, Terry Braden.
He's like that all the time.
We got.
You saw him.
Maybe that's what Michael was trying to do. He was trying to make sure that you.
No, Michael was trying to get knocked out.
I did see him at practice. He's intense all the time. I like him.
You know why he didn't answer?
Yeah, he's scared.
No. I mean, hopefully he's in class, but he's like, oh man, this dude's probably still pissed.
You know who's never scared is our next guest, Mike Schaefer, Husker 24/7, joining us now. Schaefer, what's going on, buddy? Schaefer, can you hear us?
Now wait, we got the easy part with no audio or with no video. The audio should be easy. Mike J, where you at? You hiding? I'm telling you, cell service way out there in that northwest corner, it gets hectic. Mike J, paging Mike J Schaefer. Mike J Schaefer. Mike James.
Working on it.
Shane, hang up and call him back.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try and call him.
Yeah, what are you waiting on? It's the phone. It's not like we're waiting for video.
No, we were having trouble with the phone earlier, so we were trying to get him audio StreamYard. It's the whole thing. I don't know. No, I do know. I like Coach Braden quite a bit. I like his energy. I think that's the kind of guy you want in a defensive line coach. You know what I mean? Like him and Phil Simpson both kind of have like that.
I told you, Phil Simpson is the one dude on that staff that could tell me, like, you suck at life. You need to get better. You're horrible, but I love you. And I'm going to be like, oh, okay, cool.
You're like taking it in a positive way.
How do I get better?
Yeah.
Phil Simpson has that gift. And Braden is the same way, right? He aspired to be a high school coach. Like, that's what he really wanted to do because he loves young people.
Yeah.
And you could just tell that, like, it's like kids, man. They know. That's why I can't believe that Wyatt's daughters even remotely gave you the time of day. Kids usually know other people that rock with kids, young people.
Yeah.
You know, you had his two cuties full. They may not have been old enough to know better.
Well, so listen.
But I'm just saying, young people know.
They do.
They get it. They know.
They're kind of like dogs. They know what people like them and which ones don't.
Yeah. At some point, we're going to have to tell our listeners about the conversation we had yesterday, which when I hung up, I was like, I can't believe I said that out loud. But then you doubled down and did it one step further. Shane, do we have Mike J? It's the phone. We're not calling the goddamn moon.
I hear him.
I hear him. He cleared
That's
that.
me. Yep. I just coughed right in your
Let me
show.
clear my throat. Mike J, how we doing, buddy?
I am. I'm good. I apologize for technical snafus over here. If you hear lots of noises, a deck is being built at my in-laws' house right now. So
is that the residing place until you make the official move?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I'm here until pretty much the day after Nebraska goes 1-0 down in Arrowhead. So then move into the new house there, and I got to make a decision.
Okay,
you guys let me know.
Okay.
So we're moving in the Friday after that game. Obviously, that game starts at 8:00 at night. I should have a credential for it. Do I go to that game, then leave at like 2 a.m. when I'm done working, drive back to Omaha so I can be there for when the movers are there? Or my wife says, hey, you don't have to be there right at the start of it. You could, show up a little bit later, which I don't think is a real thing. So then the option is I stay at the hotel until like 5 a.m. and then get up. So either get 3 hours of sleep and drive, or get no sleep and drive and then get like 3 hours of sleep until the movers show up.
So I know your wife.
Or I just don't go to the game.
I obviously don't know your wife as well as you do. I think you're spot on in it not being a real thing.
Not a real offer.
I think you do go to the game because you are credentialed and you will want to be there because it doesn't happen very often. And I think you need to be there on time.
I think you're just gonna have a bad Friday, Schaefer.
So we're all in the same gang, Schaefer. We can high five and you can teach me how to grow a big beard because I'm getting back. I'll drive from Lincoln to Omaha, then I'm gonna turn around and start the show at 7. And I bet you that plane will not leave Kansas City before 12:15. Now it's only a 40-minute flight, so no big deal. But I'm not opening my garage until probably 2:10. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you're optimistic. An ESPN start at 8:00 college football. That thing is not leaving at 12:15.
All right, fine. Maybe it's not a 3-hour game. I'm just going on the fact that they're going to have a 3-hour Thursday night practice, and it's really going to be 12. We'll get to the airport at 1:15. It won't be wheels up till 1:40, which puts me in Omaha at 3, which is what I originally told Ravi. And he said, oh, don't worry. It won't be that late. And I was like, oh, maybe it won't.
No, no, it will be.
But after this 38 seconds of talking to you, Schaefer, it will be that bad.
You know I'm a ray of sunshine.
And I told him,
so.
listen, speaking of which, I told him, I said, it's not like you've never worked with me the morning after zero sleep. I'm not going to bed. I'm going to go home. I'm going to eat. I'm going to calm my nerves.
You're going to review the film.
You'll probably rewatch the game.
And
you'll
and
watch the game again.
I'm gonna eat, shower, and I'm coming here. And you're gonna get what you get. And don't throw a fit. Yep, we're in the same boat, Schaefer. We're like Spider-Mans.
I will say, Schaefer, since you do have movers, maybe it won't be as bad for you. Like if you're not having to physically move a lot of the stuff, like you might be able to survive that. Couple energy.
I'm less worried about the Friday than I am trying to determine whether getting 3 hours of sleep is worth it before driving back, which I can already tell is Shelby's second least favorite option in this whole thing. So, we'll get it figured out, but that's what I'm staring ahead for next week.
So I see her temperament from afar. How does it fit with directing movers?
It should be fine. I mean,
is she just set it right there, or is she, hey, that's upstairs, 3 doors down, first left, or like what is it?
I think we'll work with the same people who loaded the pod at our house in Lincoln. It's the same company, and so if we get the same 2 guides, they basically already kind of know where everything's supposed to go and how it all works, and then she also bought boxes that just you could label what room stuff goes into. So it's all kind of set up pretty easily for the movers. Now, the physical actual moving of stuff, not so much, but everything else should be pretty easy. I would say we are probably relatively laid back when it comes to movers in general. Their job for me is just to get it into the space, and then I figure out the rest of it from there. I just don't want to physically have to move the washer and dryer to a second floor, which will be something that happens here.
Yeah.
So after that, if I got to hook it up, fine. That's not a problem.
I got one question before we move on to football.
All right.
Because everybody has their thing that's moved more than once. What's the first thing you're making sure is set up?
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you were asking what's the dumbest item that you've taken with you from house to house.
No.
I do want to know, like, my follow-up to that is what is the thing you have that's made the most moves that's not like clothes?
Okay.
But answer.
I'll have to think about that one in a little bit. But
mine's easy.
The thing that's probably going to get set up first is I think we're going to schedule it. So we'll close on the house before we actually move in, but we might have I'm going to get a new desk, like a new office desk. So I might have my office set up before the movers are actually there. So, which if I don't end up going to the game on Thursday night, then I would legitimately might just be working in my new house that night and able to do the podcast and other stuff from there as well. So the office is probably going to be the first thing that gets set up.
If you knew your closing date, I probably called the Wi-Fi company.
I was to have internet set up a week before it started.
Listen, internet TV, no brainer.
Yes.
I could be getting
that'll all
out
be
of a
set up.
box for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'd go.
But your boy will be able to watch television and get on his computer.
No, everything should be set up before we move in. So that was kind of part of it being a little bit slow moving into it.
I will go to.
Can you believe the people that do kitchens last? Oh, we'll just eat out. We'll order it. No, man. We're doing the kitchen. You know what I mean?
I do not. I do not know what you mean.
I know you don't. Schaefer, where does the kitchen rank?
It's probably like the office. A lot of that stuff is going to be set up and done. Like the cabinet liners and all of that will be put in there. So everything, that's something that my mom or mother-in-law, whoever's around to help, that's stuff that they can just do while Shelby and I are working with the movers to make sure stuff goes wherever it goes. So.
That's awesome. That's total first world problems. Did you just kind of slid in?
No, I just got to get the cabinet liners.
Liners.
Hey, those things are nice. I didn't know what they were until I got married, but those are nice.
Can I say this?
Go for it.
Most men don't.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Bless your heart,
I
Mike.
think I would have to Google cabinet liner to actually know what it is.
Oh man, I used to cut those for my mom, and that's back. They've come a long way. Now it used to be kind of more materially and cloth, and
Now it's like a vinyl strip.
Yeah,
Like it's like a big sticker.
And I'm like, I can't make it fit. It moves when you put stuff on it. She's like, shut your mouth. Put the cabinet liner in there. Like, damn, Mom. All right. Anywho, Schaefer, can I just ask you this? From an enjoyment, I need Hot Take Central info. Did you enjoy the offensive coaches the day before or defensive coaches yesterday?
I mean, I think we're at the point where it all kind of runs together. I know that's not.
They
like
all
a
do
great
kind of
answer
sound
for
the
you.
same, don't they?
Well,
even
I
the
think
play.
there's a reason for that. Like you get your top-down talking points. And I think that's a good thing. I think it's good when your players sound like your position coach sounds like the coordinator sounds like the head coach. Like to me, that should show an organization in which it's all working towards the same thing. If you talk similar, if you respond to questions similar, if your thought process is similar, that I think that's what you want. I mean, I've never coached or led an entire organization. That's a scary thought to believe, but I think you'd want people to be on that kind of same page. And so for me, a little bit, it kind of does sound similar. I think some of it with the defensive players stands out because yesterday we got guys that are a little bit deeper down the depth chart. And defense relative to offense, I think is much more of a kind of find itself, and there's maybe a higher chance that guys emerge defensively from further down the depth chart. And so we got to talk with some of those guys yesterday, like it was the Jordan Ochoa, Jameer Khan, Jalen George, players such as that. Like you get to learn their stories a little bit more, but they're also someone that come the Maryland game could have a starting spot, and it wouldn't shock me.
Can I just say, and this isn't really a question, Schaefer, so react however you see appropriate, but if Dylan Rogers, Jalen George, and Jordan Ochoa are contributors this year, it's going to be hard to talk to me.
I mean, I think you should be prepared for the fact that any of those guys are going to play.
See,
he's
in the
because
middle.
there's no way any part of you going into 2023 was like, I bet that Mekhi Bayer is going to be a guy, and then turns out he played pretty well for Nebraska. And that's just how this happens.
I wasn't, but I have said that all three of those guys I think are good, and so if they are, like, I'm going to be hard to talk to.
Oh, I see what I thought you meant like you were going to be like, oh, it's going to go bad.
Oh, God, no. Those are guys that I saw, and I'm like.
I took that completely the opposite way. Like you were going to be pouting about where the season was
No, absolutely not. If those guys end up being good, I'm going to be hard to deal with.
Yeah, because I've been trying to push the Jordan Ochoa stock to the moon, I feel like, all month. So yesterday was another good day for that.
God, he teed it up for you. You should have, what I'd have said? I'd been like, when aren't you hard to talk to?
That's kind of what I was expecting, but Shay's nicer than you are.
Bruns would have said it. There's no
question. It's that Millard North connection they have.
Hey, Bruns has turned out to be a stone cold killer. I'm afraid to have him on every week because everybody's fair game to get sniped, man. Bruns has been picking them off about 3-4 weeks in a row, Schaefer.
How is that any different than your last 15 years with them? I don't understand.
You
think he'd been nice to you in that time?
Yes. This is a different Mike Bruns. The snark is now officially, I'm like more in, let's put it this way, I'm more in his line of fire. I used to not be in the scope so much. It was other people, but now I feel like he's hunting DB. So that's where we're at. Let me ask you.
Well, and you're sending out group texts to us too, just inviting yourself to be lampooned sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
Well.
Listen, I'm not doing that anymore because
nobody's for punishment.
Nobody's nice to me except for Christopherson. I'm officially.
Brian is the nicest of the group. There's no question.
He's just a good dude, man.
Oh, that's without a doubt. I don't even think it's close. I like all you a lot, but like in terms of just like pure kindness, I think
it's Brian by a country mile.
Hey, so let me ask you something, Schaefer. We're kind of looking at the evolution, and we heard Holgerson the other day, and he's talking about depth and who's this and who's that. We heard from Quinn Clark yesterday. Guys like that maybe are on the come. Is there a position that you think is more or less deep on offense than you originally thought? Is there a position that's opposite or turning out to be opposite of what you thought than when camp started?
I felt
I know
better
you're a
about
prove
the
it guy with running backs, so you're not gonna jump in on that depth.
That's still going to be the same.
Yeah.
I'm I don't want to say wide receivers because I felt like they had talent. I just didn't know where it was all going to be coming into the season. And so that open practice, Keelan Smith looked really good. Quinn Clark had his moments. Cortez Mills looked as smooth and pure as a freshman wide receiver as I think Nebraska's had. So I definitely feel like they have depth beyond the guys that we already kind of felt good about there. Is it weird if I say tight end because I wasn't sure what Carter Nelson was going to be coming into the year because there was sort of conflicting reports on what his health might end up being, when he could be able to contribute. And then they lose Mac Markway, unfortunately. But I still like the look of that tight end room maybe more than I thought kind of coming into things, especially if Nelson is able to, even if it's as a slot and kind of wide receiver or split out a little bit. I don't know that he's going to be a great inline tight end right away this year, but I think just having a healthy Carter Nelson is kind of a boon for Nebraska. And so that comes to mind. I felt like the offensive line had a lot of pieces, so that one doesn't surprise me. Here's a kind of an off the wall thing. I feel better about quarterback than I probably did coming into fall camp. And some of that is the continuation of TJ Lateef's development and how they feel about him makes me feel better if there was some sort of long-term injury for Dylan Raiola, that they still have a guy who has some physical ability, and maybe it's not all there between the ears yet. And the game might move a little fast, but I just think TJ Lateef's athleticism and what he could kind of do back there intrigues me if he had to play in a long-term role. And then Jalen Gramstad, if you need someone in a short term for the drive or for a one game or something like that, I do feel better about quarterback than probably where I thought I was coming into fall camp too.
Schaefer, so based on your answer there, I asked DB a question yesterday that I think you maybe sort of just answered, but I want to clarify here. So I kind of am under the impression, and I don't know if this is accurate or not, that if there is a in-game injury, Jalen Gramstad probably takes over. If it is a multiple game injury, it's probably TJ Lateef.
100%.
Like, you think if we could give the true serum to Dana or Coach Rhule or whoever, like that's the answer they would give us?
I think so. And I think some of that is because I just think you can get more out of your offense with TJ Lateef. I feel like Jalen Gramstad's a little limited passing wise in terms of how far he's going to be able to push that down the field. And it doesn't mean that you wouldn't be able to run stuff with him, but I just think you're getting a higher upside. And there's certainly probably a lower floor that comes with that with TJ Lateef. But if you're chasing the upside over a multiple week period, I think you're going to be more willing to do that with a TJ Lateef because it seems like he's passed a lot of the tests that they put in front of him. And it's not like it's the media clamoring for more about TJ Lateef. They generally have been upfront about how well he's looked. And I know from talking to people that were there in the spring and again in the fall, he's had some nice moments throughout spring and fall, running with the ones when he's had opportunities there, or just working with the 2s and 3s when he's been there as well.
So, Schaefer, the one thing I agree with you, but to argue against my own point, which is, seems productive, it isn't Jalen Gramstad. Like, I think about Jalen Gramstad and I go, is that not every Texas Tech quarterback we saw prior to Graham Harrell? Like,
I
see that.
I think of Jalen Gramstad and I think it's basically Andrew Bunch. So then I look at 2018 and it's like, okay, when they lost Adrian Martinez, and it's not like they had Tristan Gebbia who had left at that point, but you end up with Andrew Bunch. And I think that's kind of what you're looking at, like a guy who can probably keep it between the ditches, but do you have enough around him that if he can't give you a 25-yard down the field pass, can you do enough offensively to survive with this? And that's sort of what I think. It's a weird comparison to use, but that's sort of where I'm at with what a Jalen Graham stat. The total upside is I think he can be kind of a game manager that you're going to need to get a lot from everybody else. I don't know that you're going to be putting up a ton of points, but he's probably not going to put you in a lot of bad spots either.
Schaefer, if you flip over to the defensive side of the ball, we saw him take the podium, yesterday. Who's a guy or two, not name Riley Van Poppel, that defensively, if Nebraska's going to be who you want them to be, who are they for you?
Marquise Watson Trent is one of them. Because
Stay there. Yeah, elaborate.
Yeah, it's hard for me to get the idea out of my head that this is a guy who just is a good football player that makes plays. I don't know how it looks at the Big Ten level. I loved his answer about he's been this size his whole life, but he just plays bigger when he's on the field because that's how he feels like he is. I think there's something to how he prepares and his instincts that allow him to maybe overcome being a little bit smaller. I think he's a veteran in a spot where having a veteran could be really helpful. Again, is the upside as high as Vincent Shavers? No. Could he be as big of a flash player as maybe some other guys? Maybe not. But could he just be really, really steady for you? I think that's kind of important. I look at John Bullock and I wonder how they replace that. I mean, he was really, really good. And I don't think if you ask people, hey, who was one of the top guys on the defense last year, how many times are you going to hear Ty Robinson or even Nash or somebody else over John Bullock? And how valuable was John Bullock? Go watch that Colorado game and tell me.
I know one guy you'll ask.
I
know one.
And so that's the first name that comes to mind. And then after that, there's a whole bunch of other ones. But one guy I'm just going to say, and I don't know how it's going to go because we saw this with Tommy Hill where he had a great 8-game stretch at the end of 2023. I am fascinated what it looks like for Sierra Wright in 2025 because if he can be really good on one side of the field, that can help them out tremendously. And he's a guy that seemed to have a knack for making plays. And so if he can make the play on the ball, if he can either knock it loose or come up with the interception, anything else. I mean, what did he have, a field goal block or a punt block or something last year too? I mean, there's something about him where I kind of believe, and I heard a lot from our USC guys, like he was someone that showed up in practice a lot. And then when the games got going, it wasn't his fault because they were a mess defensively, but it just didn't seem like he was the same guy. I thought he had a big year for the last 8 games last year. Let's see how it looks for the full season.
Yeah, Schaefer, I was talking to some of the guys in the secondary Sunday, and the consensus about him, and it wasn't just the social media scrub or getting a haircut or he cut his hair off, and just him investing in the young guys about the journey and real men and growing up and handling conflict and making yourselves vulnerable, and the different role he's taken on with the young guys in terms of investing in them, I think is interesting because I kind of laughed it off. We were we were predicting the final single digit.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody suggested Sierra Wright, and it was the last one, right? We heard Raiola, we heard Harburg, we heard
Cam Lenhart's one.
Everybody but Sierra Wright. And somebody said Wright last, and I said, well, that'd be interesting. Just if he had become the guy that embodied what the experience meant. And turns out, not only did he get the single digit, but it turns out off the field, Schaefer, he's evolving in that realm too.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about him. Obviously, we only really get the experience, the moments up in front of the podium, and if you catch him off to the side. But this is someone that I think has really embraced the fresh start that Nebraska gave him. I think he felt like he was welcomed with open arms, and he's someone that also
and it wasn't always smooth sailing too. So right, it's not a It wasn't all, you know what I mean? Like he had to overcome some differences.
And I just think he's a guy that loves football, loves being part of Nebraska's team. I mean, he spoke at the end of that open practice, thanked people for being there. It's not like he had to do that. There's something about his personality and him where I just think he kind of embodies what Matt Rhule wants Nebraska football to be. You know, it's kind of an open area where you can come in, you can fail, and then you can have success. And we'll see if he's that kind of player. But I think if he is, it could be a really big boon for Nebraska's defense.
Schaefer, since we're at, I guess, officially the end of training camp, is there, or the camp part, and we're into whatever Coach Rhule called preseason part at this point, has anything changed your mind about this team? Like, have you learned anything that has made you think differently about this team?
Yeah, because you went from optimism to kind of backing back. Like, where are you landing?
Yeah, you know, I feel good about a lot of what I've heard here in August, and I've certainly tried to avoid drinking the Kool-Aid, but I find myself wondering how they're going to lose 5 games should things go the way, you know, and I was at 7-5 for so long. I feel like I'm probably going to be at 8-4 when I put my final prediction together, you know, sometime over the weekend. But a lot of it has to do with I really enjoyed, and some of it is just talk, right? But I really enjoyed Mike Eckler's appearance the other day. I mean, it's hard not to feel like they're at least going to have some things better in the special teams. And I think you can just simply look at Nebraska's special teams over the last couple of years and wonder if it cost them 2, 3, 4 games, you know, and if it's just as simple as being better at that, then shouldn't, in theory, Nebraska be able to find some hidden yardage and win as a result because of this? Shouldn't they be better in terms of punt coverage and all of these sort of things where it just felt like they were giving away field position? So for me, some of it is just I believe in kind of what they have with the special teams. I guess I'm blindly believing that Archie Wilson is the guy that they talk about him. I think they will have a better long snapper, kicker, holder operation in 2025, and that should result in theoretically more field goals and more points. So all of the special teams stuff, which I already felt probably better about anyways, just hearing him kind of run through everything on, what was that, Thursday last week, it made me feel better about where things are headed for Nebraska. And so I think just buying into kind of what they have with the special teams, understanding that the defense is a little bit of work in progress. And then I have a really strong belief that they're going to be not just above average, but a good offense. And so I think all of that paints a pretty good picture, and it's not that hard of a schedule. So I do feel more optimistic now, and maybe I'm just buying into the talking season, but I certainly feel better about this team now than maybe where I did March, 22nd, whenever they got things kicked off.
Hey, Schaefer, let me get you out on this. Back to a little bit of recruiting on the high school level. We saw the Super 6 put out, and one of the reasons that I like talking to you about high school sports here is because you watch a lot of games. I think you have a good pulse on it. And maybe you can 2-1 it on the heels of the Tory Pittman commitment, kind of what you see in that Super 6 relative to who you think the best player in the state actually may be in this class. And then maybe some closing thoughts on what you see from Pittman when you hear people wanting to have it validated statistically by the star ranking when you look at TP the third.
Yeah, I mean, I'll start with Tory Pittman, and you know, for me, it walking up to the first central practice that I went to and not knowing what his number was, it was pretty easy to pick out who he was. Like, he's just one of those guys that you can just see its effortless athleticism when he was running around. So then that right there sort of checks a box. And then I watched him against Omaha North last year, and it was an up and down game. I mean, I think he had a fumble in that game. He had a couple critical drops. He got a touchdown late. But the play that stood out, and I was standing right next to Terrence Knighton and Matt Rhule when this happened, is he just perfectly jumped an interception. Like, he just showed his athleticism he read the quarterback. He got himself right where he needed to be, high pointed the ball, picks it off, goes right above the receiver, lands in the end zone for the touchback. And you can just see that there's a lot of instincts that blend with that athleticism. I think you can see that he is willing to come down and hit people in the box. And I think some of it is, yes, he's fast, but also I think he has a good eye and a good read as to what's going to happen on the field. And so I think that's kind of why Pittman has stood out for me in that regard. I don't know if he's going to end up being a 5-star. I was pretty surprised that he committed as early as he did. And I don't know how much of that is just the work that Matt Rhule and company have done. If they felt like, hey, we really want to get this guy to commit early just so we can sort of end some of the dumb conversation about we didn't take enough in-state guys in the 2026 class or whatever else. But I just think it was pretty impressive because the read that I got on Pittman from both him and when we would talk or with other people is that he was enjoying the amount of attention in the different schools and the sort of exotic thoughts of USC being interested in stopping by the school and things like that. And so I wasn't sure that he was just going to shut things down to stay in Nebraska. And so I was a little surprised as that happened. As it relates to the Super Six, I'm not sure that I've seen what the actual who they listed. Do you have the rundown of the names for me?
So it's Tamala, Amarian Jackson, Isaac Jensen, Donovan Jones, Jace Reynolds, and
Lincoln North Star.
Yeah, I'm forgetting Terrell.
Terrell.
Keith? Keith?
No. North Star.
Terrell
Keith
Chapman?
Chapman, yeah.
Yeah.
Who Micah absolutely loves.
Really?
Yeah, he's a big TC guy.
Hmm.
I never asked him why. He just is. Maybe he's contrarian in him. What do you think, Schaefer?
I mean, I think that's a completely fair list. It's weird. The guy I've probably seen the least is Terrell Chapman out of that group, and he's in Lincoln. But I didn't watch North Star last year that I could recall. So I can't speak to him. The other 5, it makes sense to me why they're on there. I mean, I think a guy that is going to have, and he's playing in the right offense with all the best players around him, but Nelson Wheeler is going to have a monster year. So that's someone that's going to be.
Yeah, figuring out stopping their ground game is going to be a chore.
Yeah. There's a kid whose name I cannot remember, but he's from the Scottsbluff area, and that's a guy that he's going to Iowa State, I believe. That's someone whose film I kind of liked watching this past year, and was a name that was told to me to kind of keep an eye on, and then he ended up with Matt Campbell in that Iowa State class, and so that would be someone else.
Yeah,
I can't think of the name. It's a total blank for me.
Somebody sent me his film early too last year to send to Lincoln. I'm
checking.
Yeah, I'll have you guys look that up because I am just blanking on it, and I don't want to botch the name. But
apparently, everything he hits pretty.
He's kind of a linebacker safety hybrid, kind of like Jason Reynolds.
Yeah, supposed to be a tremendous.
He's got some fun film, so if Ravi wants to throw that on during a break to watch, I think he'd enjoy that.
Kean Kaiser.
Yep.
He's someone that probably deserves mention in all of this too. For me, the best player in the class is Jones, Darian Jones.
I was going to ask you, do you think the guy that ends up being the best player in the state in this class will reflect how he was recruited? That apparently the answer is no. If you think it's DJ,
no, because and I don't want to beat a dead horse on this. I have no idea why it took Nebraska until April to make an offer, and I get that they sometimes are annoyed that people question why their strategy is what it is. But you knew what his brother was. And he was the best player on the field in a game that Matt Rhule was physically in person for.
Well, it wasn't just Nebraska, though. I mean, because
how many offers
did he rack up? Was it 6, 7?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still somewhat surprised, but I also think
everybody under-recruited him. Is what I'm saying.
I'm in the weird category where he impressed me more as a wide receiver than as a defensive back.
You're not.
So I'm opposite of how other people see it.
Did I tell you about the college? I said this on air. I said it to you, Ravi. So there's a college coach in the region that was talking to me about another player, and Darian Jones came up. And I think he forgot what I did for a second because he goes, I mean, have you seen him high point a ball? His body control? I mean, he can really go. Coach, yeah. He had a sliding, diving touchdown against us. We couldn't stop him in 7. I'm well aware. He's pretty good on all. You know what I mean? It's like, but he was lamenting the same way you were about Darian. I thought it was interesting on offense.
Yeah, I just think he's really smooth. He glides when he runs. He, like you said, he high points. I think he has very good body control, which is something that's hard to do as a high school player, to have a good understanding of, where your body is relative to the ground, relative to out of bounds. I watched him make a nice tiptoe catch along the sidelines. I was impressed by him. I mean, he was, to me, the best player on the field. That included Tory Pittman, Tyson Terry, Kylan Haney, Max Clark, all of these guys that played in that Omaha North, Omaha Central.
Yeah,
game.
Clark's
And
a stud.
I don't think it was close either, but that's just kind of how I felt when I watched him play last October.
And he's the last player, I think, since Caleb, and I get it, he's my son, so you can disregard if you think I'm not telling the truth, but Donovan's the one guy that can affect all three facets of the game at any time. You can't kick to him. You better know where he is on offense, and you certainly better figure out where he is on defense.
Darian?
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's good. I think he's the best player in the state, and I don't think that it's a stretch to say that.
That's our guy, Mike Schaefer, Husker 24/7.
Not very many guys we kick around.
Yeah.
He don't touch it.
Schaefer, appreciate the time as always. Enjoy the move. And
I'll talk to you next Tuesday before I've officially
Oh, that's right.
moved,
We'll give you some more advice on.
I can give you the preview of the clothes that'll be coming up later that day. And how excited I am to sign 77 sheets of paper.
It's the best.
Man.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Don't read the
Bye,
fine
guys.
print, Shape. We'll see you, buddy.
See you guys.
Mike Schaefer, Husker 24/7. We'll be back in just a minute. Take a little UCLA football here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I mean, we were watching Cincinnati in the spring. We were watching Cincinnati in the summer. It's just kind of what we do. I think I've watched. I walked by X office today. Their special teams coordinator just came from another school. He was watching that. Our guys were watching them. So we've watched them a ton. I think when you start to look at personnel, that becomes very different because they could bring other guys in. But some of their top players, the quarterback, the nose tackle, the tight end, and many more have been there. They've brought in a bunch of good players. I think for us though, I think it's really crucial is we will not start talking about the first opponent until Friday with our team. So to me, it is a slippery slope when you start talking about them really early, because by the time the game gets there, it's like, I want there to be like that feeling of game week. And so especially for the next week. And so like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, while Thursday will be a mock game, we are playing ourselves still. Like I hear a lot of coaches, they believe in like, hey, getting the 2s and 3s ready, and resting the 1s. We're trying to catch a lot of teams ahead of us in the Big Ten that are pretty good teams. And so we have work to do. So we're going to work on us this week.
Yeah, we just keep harping on routine plays, and then those things turn into big plays. We've been explosive at times, which I haven't seen since I've been here. So that's coming together. I think they're buying into it. Camp's hard. This has been a tough camp. It's hard everywhere, and so those guys are doing a good job of getting their bodies ready to get out there and play. Just every week, just routine plays, and what you see with those routine plays is more first downs, but more explosive plays too. Because if you're just making routine play after routine play, those things tend to go.
I mean, as an offensive line coach, you're always, preparing for the worst, right? So, but I think going into a training camp, the whole overall unit has been the best since we've been here. And, I was talking to Coach Cooley, my assistant, the other day, and, we haven't seen too many units that we've been around that's been this deep from, the top group to the last guy on the roster. So, we're excited to be able to, go to work with them every day and just keep focusing on improving and, just playing to our standard.
How do you size up the tackle situation right now? You've got 4 or 5 good options. Where does it stand in your mind?
It's still wide open. Guys are battling. We got a lot of guys with really good experience. Gunner shows up, Turner's back, Teddy's back. You got Tyler Kanak over there, right? Obviously Pritchett is here, so they're all battling. They're all working hard, and at the end of the day, we're gonna play the guy that's gonna execute and play with our technique and play with the effort that's required for us to be a championship level team.
Imagine your first dream home and the feeling of walking inside for the first time. With Centrist Federal Credit Union's First Time Home Buyers program, you are at the doorstep of bringing your vision to life. Welcome home. From your neighborhood mortgage experts, Centrist Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Just kind of like a mock game, just to go through the whole logistics of what a game day would look like. Like I said before, a lot of new faces, and just want them to kind of treated how we treated our away stadiums that we're going to, making sure that they have been in there and it's not, oh shit, it's the Rose Bowl, just trying to get that little nostalgic out of the way.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centrist Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Mike Regalado from Bruin Report to talk a little UCLA football. Mike, how are you this morning?
Good, thank you. How you all doing?
Good, Mike. That's interesting to talking or listening to Coach Foster. I almost, that all bleep moment, right? This is the Rose Bowl. I'm kind of following the Big Ten camp and where guys were, and clearly they were just in Westwood. But I pit it against a couple of things. Jackson Arnold talking about dealing with Hugh Freeze, and it was Klubnik talking about how, hey, I support, Sweeney. Those guys said I sucked. Like I heard what people said. When you look at Foster's personality and you pit it with Nico in terms of coming home and what he had to deal with leaving Tennessee, do you like kind of how this is happening in the offseason with Coach Foster keeps it a buck. He doesn't pull any punches with being a straight shooter. Does that mesh, in your opinion, you think, with Nico and some ownership about what he wants to do in Los Angeles?
Yeah, it's an interesting mesh, as you say, connection, whatever it is, because one thing that stood out, and I think that this goes with the entire staff and the team, the UCLA football team, is that last night on the Big Ten Network, offensive coordinator Tino Sinceri was honest about it. He goes, I heard about, what was going on with Nico at Tennessee. And I did, he said, I did have those opinions about him, but then he took 5 minutes to actually talk to him, and that was out the window. And that seems to be the entire, the epitome of how this coaching staff is embracing what Nico is bringing, and vice versa. Nico understands that he's in a new environment. Things are completely different from what they were at Tennessee, and to be able to come in, almost seamlessly and just to be able to contribute to this offense is something that is beneficial to both. And then just looking at how the team is performing during practices, even albeit the little bit of time that we do get to see practice, it's looking good overall. So it just seems like it was just a good meeting of the minds. It was kind of like a perfect fit, right place, right time. And I think we're going to see good things from UCLA.
It's interesting, Mike. I know you're kind of caught in the crosshairs between my partner and I, but I used to play at Nebraska. I was traumatized. I was benched in the Rose Bowl, and I got my job taken by a guy by the name of Lawrence Phillips. And so I'm always traumatized about going back to the Rose Bowl, right? Nebraska got hammered there against Miami in 01. I could make up a laundry list. But he and I got on this deal about Nico and transferring and leaving Tennessee, coming to a guy like Coach Foster in Westwood. And we went back and forth about, well, is this the dad's doing? Maybe it's not the kid. The kid hasn't said anything. They just keep throwing numbers out. And we got into this knockdown drag out for like 3 days about UCLA, not only because they were coming off the win the last time they were in Lincoln, but just the trauma, right? Dana Brinson getting knocked out in 88. Like, there's just a laundry list of UCLA, Nebraska stuff. Having said that, do you feel Nico was misportrayed in kind of this whole deal of how it played out with what happened and transpired at Tennessee versus what UCLA inherited? Because we still haven't really heard from Nico, but this time I think it's okay, right? Like, it's okay if we don't hear from him until now.
No, totally. And, we want to keep some positivity here, but, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. And, in that manner, it could have actually been worse. Could have been better, but we don't know.
Yeah.
But everything that I heard, and, I'm not going to comment on players, parents and all that, because
Right.
it's a whole new thing with NIL and trying to figure out what's the best place for my kid, whatever, that's their issue. But everything that I've heard, the way that Nico presents himself, he just seems like a stand-up guy who he just wants to play football. He wants to make his teammates better, and he just wants to throw the ball around and have some fun. And it seems like, as I said before, this is going to be a really good fit for him.
Nice.
Mike, I want to get to the other side of the ball. Obviously, as in the games that UCLA played well last year, the defense was a strength. They have a lot of turnover, but they've got some transfers they like on that side of the ball. How do you see that all coming together?
It was weird when Danton Lynn just bolted for USC across town, because his 1 year in Westwood, Chip Kelly's last, that was 2 seasons ago, he just absolutely turned the defense around, and it was just
Really
weird,
good.
especially for UCLA fans. During the Chip Kelly era, they either had a really good offense and a subpar defense. That year, their defense was excellent and the offense was meh. So that was one key that UCLA fans were hoping they would keep, and then boom, goes to USC. Well, they had to get another defensive coordinator, so they turned to Keiko Malloy, who was the defensive line coach at the time, and he has just done an amazing job. And granted, he has done a lot of similar things to what Danton Lynn did. A lot of pressure. They really use the edges. One thing that really they have to shore up, something that just hasn't been good in Westwood in a long time, is the secondary. Well, that seems to be a different situation now, especially since, as you said, there's a lot of turnover, but they brought in a lot of really talented guys. The only problem with that is that they don't know the system. They don't have chemistry, and that was one of the things about taking the team out of Westwood and going to Costa Mesa, is to have that bonding, to have a quicker meshing, if you will, with the team. And there's still a lot of question marks, but they have brought in a lot of really talented guys. Isaiah Chisholm from Oregon State, Key Lawrence from Ole Miss, who's a safety, and he's just a fan favorite already. Hasn't even played a single down in blue gold. But the fans are loving him. And then you got guys who have been here already, like Siale Tupaki, Jalen Woods, John Bonds, who are the heart of the defense. And they know what Malloy requires of them, and they are there to make sure that they carry it out. But yeah, the thing is that they're going to need to really get on the same page really quickly. But I don't know. There's just something about Malloy that there's some comfort in his coaching, in his style, and it seems that there's definitely going to be a drop off. You can't not have a drop off when you lose a guy like Carson Sweshinger, Kane Madrano, Olufemi Oladejo. Those guys were just absolute ballers. But this is college football. You got to just push through.
I take Yogi at his word. We got a really good working relationship, and I think he shoots us straight. And he talked about the depth in Westwood along the defensive line, and it's just it's not things that you hear go hand in hand, right? 7-8 defensive linemen and depth and Westwood, and it's thinking, well, it's Yogi. He's not going to say it if he doesn't believe it to be true. Is that kind of the sentiment that you can kind of rally along or behind the depth up front for this UCLA Bruin bunch?
Definitely. And I attribute that to the fact that, like I said, Malloy was the defensive line coach, so he knows exactly what he wants up front. He knows that he needs to get pressure on the quarterback. He has to disrupt the offensive game plan, and guys are coming in just understanding what the job is and are executing. As far as we've seen, haven't had a lot of time to watch practice, but these are guys that are just flying around the field, doing what they're supposed to, but at the same time trying to assimilate into this brotherhood of UCLA football. And so far, it looks pretty good. But it just seems like everyone that comes in understands what Malloy wants, and he's going to get it.
Mike, I kind of like to break schedules down and see like, hey, this is a key stretch for this team or whatever. Obviously, you get the tough game with Utah right out of the gate. You get Penn State start of October. You've got a couple interesting stretches, though, I think, in particular. One is at Indiana, Nebraska, at Ohio State, which is a really interesting stretch between October 25th and November 15th. You do get a bye game in there, or a bye week in there, but also kind of overlapping on that one is the at Ohio State, Washington at home, at USC. If you had to pick a 3-game stretch that you think could end up defining UCLA's season, which one is it?
That's tough.
Or maybe I didn't even mention it. Maybe it's a different one.
That's tough because the first half of the season is it is so much easier aside from that Penn State game, which I believe is week 5. Yep. But yeah, that second half, like I don't even know. It's just that's just a murderer's row. But funny enough, UCLA's kind of used to this. The last few years, UCLA has had 3 or 4 game stretches in which you just see that beforehand, and you just think to yourself that is going to be brutal. If UCLA at least comes out with a win, that's probably good for the season. But yeah, there's that's going to be a huge stretch down the line. But the good thing is that it's in the second half of the season, and hopefully UCLA has warmed up the tires at that point and is ready to go and take on some of these teams. But yeah. Having Penn State, although again, that's at the beginning of the season. Washington at USC, although UCLA has won at USC the last 3 times. That's something that they can hang their hat on. But that Ohio State game in November, that's going to be brutal. Indiana, that's UCLA fans last year were like, oh, Indiana, they're pretty good. They came into the Rose Bowl and just whipped on the Bruins. So that one's not looking too good either. But yeah, I think one can hope that UCLA just does not get obliterated by a couple of those games. But I think UCLA is very competitive. One thing, even though it was a struggle, it was hard to watch at times last season. You could tell in the fourth, fourth quarters of several games, all games last year, actually, they didn't quit. They kept playing like it was a start, like it was the early first quarter. And yeah, that's something that Deshaun Foster has instilled in this team. Like, we're not quitting. Yeah, we're down 20. Keep going out there. You want playing time? Get out there and do what you're supposed to do.
Mike, let me get you out of this last one from me anyway. And maybe they go hand in hand, and I get that answer. But if you had to pick and you need somebody to kind of step up and develop, if this team is going to be what Coach Foster wants him to be. Are you taking Quasi Gilner out at wide out? Or are you taking Javian Thomas at running back? If UCLA wants to be who Foster wants them to be, who needs to emerge first?
That's a tough one, because obviously you have to establish your ground game, and Jet brings that. Javian Thomas, because they have Jalen Berger, who didn't have a full fall camp a year ago,
And
and so
Woods
it
is
took him
back
a little
too,
time.
right?
I'm sorry.
And Woods is back too, right?
Yes. Yeah. So the running game is going to be, I think for Foster, that's going to be really important to try to establish, because it was just it was horrible. It was third to last in the nation last year, and as a running back himself, that's something that Foster takes pride in. So it's going to be, I think that's going to be a huge need. But I'm waiting to see what Quasi does. I'm waiting to see what Rico Flores does when he comes back from injury. Titus should be pretty good, but yeah, Quasi is going to be an absolute beast this year.
Who's leading the way at tight end? Is it going to be Hudson?
Definitely Hudson Habermill. Very talented tight end, and I was actually there at spring practice a year and a half ago when he tore his ACL, and that was just a rough scene, because just injured and in pain, and he was going to be the guy. Last year it was Moliki Monteveo, but now Hudson's stepping up, and it looks like he's going to be a featured piece of this offense. So I'm very excited to see what his comeback story is about.
Yeah, don't worry, Mike. I can still see Monteveo making catches in Lincoln against Nebraska last year. So I always got to ask about the tight end position.
Yeah. No, Chip Kelly was huge on tight ends, and it looks like Foster is as well. So I do like that. I like the big guys who can not only block, but can get out into the open and bring in 15, 20 yards.
That's Mike Regalado from Bruin Report joining us. Thank you, Mike, for the insight on UCLA, and we'll hopefully talk to you soon.
Appreciate you getting up early, Mike.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Mike Regalado from Bruin Report.
I felt like
they're an interesting team. I don't know.
I felt like the camp preview from BTN wasn't overly optimistic. That was my vibe.
I'm
going to go back.
Optimistic either.
But I didn't want to pit it against what I feel.
Can I just say this about Nico?
Yeah.
Tennessee was awfully okay with him leaving.
I tell you what, though, you and I, we did not see eye to eye on that deal for a week.
The hardest thing, I understand what Mike was saying. I understand, you spend 5 minutes with a kid. You can see he's not like that. Tennessee was pretty okay with him getting out the door.
I don't know, man.
I don't know either, but if he was all good,
you want to relitigate that fight? I was Team Nico in that one.
I know you were. I was Team.
Don't be high maintenance.
Yeah, you're the one that doesn't want a babysitter all the time. My guy just doesn't have a babysitter. He's got dad moving on campus with him. Sounds like. So I don't know. If I've got a guy that talented, what's the thing we always say, right? Your talent dictates how much leeway you get, right? Yeah. By all accounts, people think Nico's pretty talented. Tennessee was pretty quick to let him go. They were pretty quick to let him out the door.
I actually can't wait for that opener, because I think Utah is going to be really, really good. I'm afraid of their schedule, but in the opener, I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, I'm telling you right now,
I like
Utah will be a menace in that opener.
You don't got to tell me. I'm a Kyle Whittingham guy. Always have.
Dampier, they're going to be nice in that opener.
Dampier's going to be a problem, especially until you get a scout on him against major
competition.
But
that Utah schedule is not super user friendly.
You know what's never a problem? Before we go, Centrist Federal Credit Union. Whether you need a little bit of money from your home equity, get a little remodel done, maybe take a little vacation here. Maybe you're trying to get out to LA for that UCLA game. We don't know, but you can get money with a HELOC out of the equity from your home. Go to centristfcu.org to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, equal housing lender. That's the show for today. DB and I will be back tomorrow, and maybe we'll talk about the fact that Anthony Richardson just is not going to start quarterback for the old Indianapolis Colts.
Keep an eye on the Daniel Jones pickup. Come on, sweet baby Jesus, be good.
This isn't all win.
Be good.
This is a win-win here for me, because
I know you don't like AR.
Yeah,
I told you Daniel Jones was going to be a good pickup.
Yeah, he has to be a good pickup because they don't have a quarterback otherwise. So
no, he might flourish.
We'll see what he does there. We'll be back tomorrow here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.